Ohayou gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Raps Baseballs, live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. The commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We are giving live English reports on the game being played and hope English-speaking fans around the globe can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. First off, we're going to give you the starting lineups tonight for the visitors from Saitama. The Seibu Lions will begin by leading off with the center fielder wearing number 46, Shohei Suzuki. Batting second and playing in right field wearing number 53 is Ito. Batting in the third spot and doing the catching wearing number 10 is Tomoya Mori. Playing first base and wearing number 3 is Taka Yamakawa. In the fifth spot and playing second base wearing number 5 is Shuda Tonosaki. Batting sixth and playing third base wearing number 33 is Jansen Witt. Batting seventh and doing the designated hitting, number 60, Takiya Nakamura. Batting eighth and in left field wearing number 30 is Brian O'Grady. Batting ninth and playing shortstop wearing number 52 is Haruka Yamada. And they're going to be facing our left-handed pitcher in Kazuya Ojima. For Ojima, he's had a rough season this year. He is off to a 1-7 start. He's worked 81 1/3 innings. He's allowed 72 hits, 28 runs, 21 earned. He's walked 24 and struck out 49, and he's got an ERA of 2.32. And now the starting lineup for the home team from Chiba. Leading off and playing in center field wearing number 38 is Akito Takabe. Batting second in right field wearing number 3 is Katsuya Kakunaka. Batting third and playing second base number 8 is Shogo Nakamura. In the cleanup spot and playing third base wearing number 5 is Hisanori Yasuda. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 44, Seiya Inoue. Batting sixth at first base wearing number 32 is Toshiya Sato. Batting seventh in left field wearing number 31 is Tsuyoshi Sagano. Batting eighth at shortstop wearing number 4 is Yudai Fujioka. And batting ninth, the catcher wearing number 66 is Takuma Kato. And they're going to be facing the right-hander in Wataru Matsumoto. He is 5-3 on the season he's worked 63 innings, given up 56 hits, 26 runs, 24 earned. He's walked 24 and struck out 39. He's posted an earned run average of 3.43. Well, those are the starting lineups. The starter for the Marines, Ojima, has just completed his warm-up tosses, and we are about ready to get this one underway. We welcome everybody here, whether you're listening live or on delay. It's always appreciative to have you here with us. This one here, last night's game was very well attended for us. I don't know if we're going to expect to see something similar tonight because it is 2 a.m. in the morning Pacific time and 5 a.m. Eastern, so we might get a few of the early morning risers checking in as we move along. So here comes the first pitch of the ball game. Ojima is ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball that misses down and away to Suzuki, and the count is 1-0. Shohei Suzuki, a left-handed batter, batting 206 on the season. He's got a homer and 6 RBIs. There's a fastball that bounces up to the plate. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Shohei Suzuki. As we said, Ojima has had some rough outings this year. He's a career 500 pitcher. He's 24-24 lifetime. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-0 to Suzuki. But of the runs that he's given up this year, of the 28 runs he's allowed, 21 of them have been earned. So 3/4 of the runs have been earned runs, and 1/4 have been because of shoddy defense. And there's a fastball that misses down and away. And that is going to be ball 4 as Suzuki is aboard with a walk. And he is the leadoff one. Eric Chang says he's back for more NPB, and we're glad you're here, Eric. Not sure how many people we're going to get in the late night. This is a late edition stream for me. Wasn't sure if I was going to do this call tonight or not. Usually we're the 2 a.m. Pacific or the 5 a.m. Eastern. Try to stay off of these ones. Can wreak havoc with you, but got a little bit of sleep in earlier and thought, hey, why not? We're on a roll. Let's keep going. So the runner at first is Suzuki, and that's going to bring Ito to the plate. Ito was hitting .249 on the season. He's got 7 homers and 16 runs batted in. He waits on the offering from Ojima, and Ojima gives a token toss over to first base, and diving back safely is the base runner Suzuki. We had, as we said, a pretty good attendance last night. We had the late night gamblers every night seems to have a different take to it. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down. The count is 1-0 to Ito. Every time we see Ito play, one thing that stands out for me is his defense. I really like the way that he plays defense. I don't know if that's a staple of his regular play or if it's just something when we show up to do games. He's getting the start in right field tonight. We've seen him in center field a couple of times. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. Count goes even to 1-1. See, right there, that one there, that last pitch was a breaking ball, was a borderline pitch. To start the ball game, Ojima had thrown 5 balls in a row, and I'm not sure why Ito would turn loose on that one. Even if he put that ball in play, make Ojima work a little bit, let him find the strike zone. And Ojima again throws over to first base. And diving back in time is the base runner, Suzuki. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Ito. He'll be followed by the catcher, Tomoya Mori. So lefty Ojima gets his sign. He comes set at the belt. And again, he throws over to first base. And again, diving back in time is the base runner, Suzuki. Suzuki does not have a stolen base this year. He does move fairly well, though, the starting center fielder. He establishes his lead again, and he's waiting on the delivery now from the lefty Ojima, who kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted to deep left field, racing over and in foul territory, and looking up, and that ball is just going to hook into the seats is Tsuyoshi Sagano. It's going to be a long strike for Ito. That's going to run the count to 1-2. Right now, the wind is blowing in from straightaway center field. It is heavy gusts in Chiba. We've got the latest at 17 miles an hour. There were showers in the area, but it's supposed to clear up over the next hour and change. It is mostly cloudy. And the crowd is not a big crowd tonight for this one. It is a Tuesday game in Japan, and there's a fastball swung on, and this is hook-barreled foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ito. As we mentioned, we try to stay off these 2 a.m. games. They are killers. But we're glad that we're able to do this, as the Seibu Lions find themselves in first place right now in the Pacific League. There's a fastball that misses down to Ito, and the count is now 2-2. I'm curious to see how they are playing. They've got their import players are in the lineup tonight, and they're batting down in the order. Brian O'Grady, who has 12 home runs this year, is batting 8th tonight. So here comes the 2-2 pitch from Ojima. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count now runs full to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The lefty Ojima gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up. Now he's ready to go back to work. First baseman Sato is holding the runner. Ito chokes up a little bit off the bottom of the bat. And here comes the 3-2 offering. Ojima checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is drilled down the left field line. It's going to be off the super dry side in left field into the corner. And rounding second and heading to third is Suzuki. And cruising into second base with a stand-up double is Ito. And that is going to put the pressure on the Chiba Lotte Marines here in the first inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. There were 3 balls in a row that were hooked to left field. 2 were foul. And then finally, Ito wears out the sign in left field. The super dry sign, as it was fielded by the left fielder. One would have to have thought that maybe they would have shaded him a little bit more to the pole side. Where the left fielder was positioned, he was almost still in straight up positioning. So that's going to bring up Mori to the plate. He's hitting .242. He's got a couple of homers and 16 RBIs. As we said, it is a very sparse Tuesday crowd in Chiba for this one. Maybe the way the Marines have been playing, people will stay away. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Mori. Mori missed some time this year, as he had, from what we understood, punched the wall or punched the helmet out of frustration and broke a bone in his hand. And they are a much better team when he is in the lineup than without him. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is now 1-1. When they had to go to some of their other catches, they had struggles controlling the running game. Sorry, guys, we're a little bit behind on the stuff. We've got Eric Chang laughing. He says he's throwing back to third multiple times for a guy who has no stolen bases. Yeah, absolutely. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Maury. Vivid Life appreciates us being here. We know it's definitely a good night for him. He's working in the hotel industry. We've got Mick 3Y in the house. We appreciate you being there. Eric is here. It's 2 a.m. here as well. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it is a fastball that misses down and away. The count now goes to 2-2. I've been kicking around the idea of calling all the games in the month of September all through the week. But it's going to have to mean that I'm going to have to flip my schedule and my days around to be able to do it. But that's upon my return from back east. So we'll see what happens. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away. The count now goes to 3-2 on Maury. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. They do have the open base, but the league-leading home run hitter Hotaka Yamakawa waits his turn on deck. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ojima gets the sign from his catcher. He comes set of the belt. Now he kicks and fires. It is a fastball swung on. This is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. Keeps the count at 3-2 to Maury. One would think this is the guy they want to go after with the open base. They could always stick Yamakawa on 4 straight pitches. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is to Maury. He waits on the offering here from Ojima. Left-hander against the left-hander. Ojima kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow center field. Moving back on it is the shortstop, Fujioka. He's got trouble with the wind, and he finally is able to haul it in. Looks like a game in San Francisco where the wind is blowing like crazy. As we said, it's coming in straight away from center field, and that's going to retire Maury for the first out. And I wouldn't bat an eye if they decided to walk the big fella here and put him on. Or if they do pitch to him, they won't probably give him anything good to hit. So Hotaka Yamakawa steps to the plate. He's batting .274 on the season, but it's the 27 home runs that are eye-popping. He's got 56 runs batted in. Nobody is even close to him in the home run department. Hideto Asamura has got 15. He leads the Pacific League by 12 homers over his second rival. There's a first pitch fastball that misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. As time is called, as the pitcher has asked for a new baseball, and that he will receive. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yamakawa holds the bat above his head, waiting on the offering here from Ojima. Ojima holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. Why waste the pitches? Just put them right on so you can load the bases and set up a double play possibility as you've got Shuta Tanesaki waiting on deck. I'm not sure what the Gucci manager's mindset is here, but I know it's early in the ball game, but they've got 2 ducks on the pond, and you don't want the big fella to open up the scoring here in the first inning. So here comes the 2-0 offering. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes it is to Yamakawa. As we look at the pitcher, it doesn't look comfortable on that mound. I don't know if it's maybe because it had been freshly watered just before the ball game, or he's finding some footing, but he's landed a couple of times kind of awkwardly. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball off the outside corner. And what we were wanting has happened on 4 pitches. That is a base on balls to Yamakawa. And that is now going to bring up the second baseman, Shuta Tanesaki. For Tanesaki, on the season. He's batting .225. He's got 5 homers and 27 runs batted in. I'm not sure where you're at, Eric, or what part of the West Coast that you're on. But we do welcome you and thank you for sticking around and being up here late night with us. So Tanasaki steps to the plate. He bats from the right side. The corners are playing in. The third baseman, Yasuda, is a step or so just behind the bag. And here's the first pitch that misses for a ball. And the count is 1-0 to Tanasaki. The middle infielders are in double play depth. They're going to hunt the twin killing up the middle here. So Tanasaki waiting on the offering from the lefty Ojima. Ojima holds at the belt. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. The count is now 2-1. Eric says he's tuning in from Las Vegas. Can't remember if Vegas is on Pacific or Mountain Time. Vegas is, or if it's one of those ones that's kind of a swing type of state. So 2 balls and no strikes. And here comes the pitch from Ojima. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-0. While there's nowhere to put Tanasaki, the bases are loaded. Ojima needs to find somewhere he can throw a strike here. He's put 3 balls on every single hitter he's faced here in the first inning so far. This is going to be the 26th pitch of the inning. I've got him at 17 balls and 8 strikes. So here comes the pitch from Ojima. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. Eric says Pacific time. I haven't been to Vegas in a couple years. Usually get down there. I've got a friend who's got a place in Vegas. But I don't get to that area all that often. But I do like Las Vegas. Good place to be. Here comes the 3-1 offering. As Ojima holds at the belt, he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is popped up. It is in foul territory, and moving back is the first baseman, Sato. He makes the catch, and he sprints it back into the infield, and that is going to be out number 2 as Tanasaki has flown out, or popped out to the first baseman. Our friend Vipulan, who's back again tonight, he says he's tuning in from Australia. Welcome. We appreciate you for listening in and for being here. Whereabouts in Australia would you call home there, Vipulan? So that's going to bring up Jansen Witt. For Witt, he is batting .181 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 7 RBIs. He is a 15 for 83. He's yet to get his groove on here in the NPB. So the bases are loaded. Witt steps up to the plate. Ojima is looking to get himself out of a jam. Poulin says he's in Sydney. Well, welcome from Sydney. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is 0-1 to Witt. The Land of Oz is definitely on my hit list, so to speak, to get to. There's quite a bit of Aussies in the Vancouver area. We seem to attract New Zealanders and Australians. So here comes the 0-1 offering now to Witt. Ojima gets the sign from his catcher, Kato, and he comes set at the belt. And here comes the offering. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Australia has been able to produce some number of good baseball players over its time. The hot part for baseball in Australia has always been Perth. Seems to always churn out 1, 2, 3 players. Can always play. Guys I remember, Dave Nielsen, Craig Shipley, all big league guys. I think Ryan Roland Smith, the pitcher, was also Australian. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Jansen Witt. Eric says, I appreciate Volk for beating Max again. Was definitely rooting for that Aussie. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Witt. Ojima gets the side from his catcher. The bases are full of Lions. Here in the first inning, there is 2 gone. Here comes the 31st pitch of the inning. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. So if he keeps this streak alive, if he throws another ball here, it'll be 6 hitters in the inning that he was going to have all 3 balls to. Our friend Vipulin says, what a masterclass that was. I'm not sure. I think that was you guys over there probably talking about other stuff. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. Eric says he can't throw a strike to save his life. Eris385 back in the house tonight. He says Justin Huber was a favorite Aussie ball player for him. He I'm not familiar with. I'd have to look him up. I don't know him at all. Name doesn't quite ring a bell. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 out here, the runners are going to be on the move once Ojima commits to the plate. So here comes the 3-2 offering. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven into left center field, and it's going to get up the gap. It's off the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Witt's digging for 2. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it is not going to be in time. Jansen Witt has just cleared the bases with a 3-run double. The Lions are off and roaring here in the top of the first inning, as Suzuki, Ito, and Yamakawa have all crossed the plate to give the Lions a 3-0 lead here on the top of the first inning. You had to expect that was coming because he just couldn't throw a strike, and then when he did throw a strike, it just was right down the middle, and Jansen Witt made no mistake. He's now taken his RBI total up to 10 on the season, and the American third baseman probably is breathing a deep sigh of relief as he's starting to get going here now in the NPB. So Witt is the runner at second. And that brings up Takia Nakamura, the other big fella in the lineup for the Lions, and he takes a first pitch fastball upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Nakamura is only batting .178 on the season. He's got 4 homers and 14 runs batted in. My friend Eris says he came up with the Royals and bounced around the league and finished in the NPB. I'll have to take a peek at that after the game is done. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Nakamura. This is going to be a long night for the Marines if they have to go into the bullpen early. 35 pitches already here in the first inning for Ojima. So here comes the 2-0 offering. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0. Our friend Vipulin figures that the first innings is going to go for more. Well, he might be right here. 3 balls and no strikes, and Brian O'Grady waiting on deck. He's probably licking his chops. There's probably fights at the bat rack to get up to face Ojima here tonight. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 3-1. Batters are probably throwing elbows, wanting to get to the bat so they can get up here and face the lefty. So 3 balls and 1 strike. 7 hitters in a row that Ojima has gone to 3 balls on. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. Drifting back underneath it is the center fielder, Takabe. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to mercifully bring the first into the end for Kazuya Ojima. He's given up 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through a half inning. It is the Seibu Seibu Lions 3, Chiba Lotte Marines coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment with the call. In just a couple moments. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight for some late night baseball from Japan, or early morning, wherever you're at.
Thanks for checking out Freddie and Last Raps Baseball. It's time to announce the winners of this month's Mystery Pack. Boom! Josh S., you're the winner. Congratulations. Enjoy the game, and remember to tell Steve Rademacher, pick a haircut. Back to the game.
Welcome back, everybody. Wataru Matsumoto takes to the hill with his 5-3 record, and he is probably breathing a easy sigh of relief as he's been spotted a 3-0 lead here going to the bottom of the first inning. He's going to be facing the center fielder Akito Takabe, then it'll be the right fielder Katsuya Kakanaka, Shogo Nakamura, the second baseman, all coming to bat 1, 2, 3 here in the bottom of the first inning for the Chiba Lotte Marines. Matsumoto has just completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here. As we said, it's an overcast day, lots of wind. The wind is blowing straight in from center field. The lights are on, and they're in full effect right now. So Takabe steps to the plate. This fella can run a little bit. He's batting .257. He's got a homer and 17 runs batted in, but he's got 28 stolen bases. And here comes the first pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Akito Takabe. Takabe hitting from the left side against the right-hander Matsumoto, and he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. There's only one other game in the Pacific League tonight. Oryx Buffaloes and the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters are going at it. There's a fastball swung on. This is lifted into the seats over the first base dugout, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Takabe. They do have a couple of players who can run a little bit in the lineup, but outside of Takabe, he is the only one. And there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. To say the home plate umpire tonight, maybe a little bit of a tighter strike zone. Might have got Ojima into a little bit of trouble, but it's coming right back here to Matsumoto. Here's the 2-2. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to the first baseman. They throw to the pitcher covering, and down goes Matsumoto as he makes the catch. He is able to make the play. He's going to get up and limp around a little bit, but that was a nice play. The first baseman, Yamakawa, had to go into the hole. He fielded it. He had to throw a strike to the pitcher on the run, which he did. And then as the pitcher was getting over, he basically kind of tripped over the bag, although he did beat the runner there by a half a step. That's going to go down as a ground out 1-3. As the first out of the inning. Well played. The runner to Takabe, as we said, he can really get down the line. It was a foot race to the base, and it was won by the pitcher. And they do have the pitching coach and the trainer out to have a word with him to check on him as the umpire is out there with him. That won't be a charge trip, as that is a injury visit. We'll see if Matsumoto is going to get a throw here on the in-between, but nope. He says he's good to go. Or is he? Nope, he's going to get a couple of tosses here. So that's going to bring up Katsuya Kakanaka. Kakanaka tonight is bringing a .242 batting average to the plate. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. Our friend Eris says when he came up the Royals and he bounced around, Huber, as you were saying, the Australian. So I'll be kind of curious to check him out. There's a former Kansas City Athletic who lived up in this area here. There's a fastball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0. His name was Ozzie Chavarese. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 1-1. Farouche jumps in. He says, thanks for the English commentary, and we thank you for showing up to be here with us. Hopefully you can stick around. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. What was neat about Ozzie is that Ozzie, he's not a young man anymore. I know he's still alive. I haven't seen him in a few years. But he had played for the Vancouver Mounties, and then he had a professional career. I think it was about 2 or 3 years in the big leagues. As he fouls a fastball off, and the count is now 2-2. And Ozzie, when he was done playing, he ended up umpiring a lot locally and so on and so forth. And he ended up getting pretty good, and he did the gold medal game in the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And Kakanaka has gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up Shogo Nakamura. Our friend V-Rush, or I don't know if we say V-Rush or Varush, he says he's tuning in from India. Well, we welcome our Indian listeners as well. We're glad you could be here. So 2-away, and that's going to bring up Shogo Nakamura. Nakamura on the season is hitting .255. He's got 6 homers and 40 runs batted in. And Matsumoto rocks into the motion. He kicks, and he delivers. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Nakamura waggles the bat as he bats from the right side. Here comes the offering. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I am going to try to slide in a Saturday night game. I am in Seattle on Saturday, so I may not get back in time. It would be one of the 10 o'clock games on the Pacific Coast. As the fastball misses outside, and the count is now 2-1. Catch the Mariners and the Houston Astros for a couple of games of that 3-game set. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is rocketed foul down the left field line, and that's going to run the count to 2-2. I'll have to see what that would be as a 10 o'clock Pacific time, but might be a game time decision. I may not be able to get back in time to do that. So here comes the 2-2 pitch from Matsumoto, and there's a fastball swung on. It's popped up behind home plate, racing back to the fences. Mori, but he's going to watch it sail into the seats. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. But we are going to do some big league stuff on Thursday, so Astros and Yankees in the morning and Dodgers and Giants at night. We'll put that schedule up a little later today. So hopefully you can pop in and join us. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matsumoto rocks into the motion. He kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball that misses off the outside corner. Now the count goes to 3-2 on Nakamura. There's nothing more that the Lions would like to see as the pitcher to come back out and put up a 0 here in the first inning. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This is popped up over on the left side of the infield. Camping out underneath it is the shortstop, Yamada. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here as the Lions go quietly in their half of the first inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. And nobody left the board. We are now through 1 complete. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 3, the Chiba Lotte Marines no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the second inning after this. We're glad you guys could pop in here with us tonight. And we appreciate you checking in, whether you're from Australia, India, United States, Canada. We do appreciate you guys for being here.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we'd like to support Steve Rademacher after the game. Be sure to go over and check out his stuff, as he did post a Money Money Monday video up on Monday, as he shows different types of currency, explains what they're worth, and especially what they're worth if you melt them down. It's kind of interesting to see some of the stuff that he had. So now that's going to bring up the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order for the Lions. It's going to be Brian O'Grady, Haruka Yamada, and the top of the order is Shohei Suzuki. O'Grady dropped right down to the 8th spot in the batting order. He's batting at .230 on the season. He's got 12 homers and 37 runs batted in. And he first pitches a fastball swung on, and it's grounded right through the pitcher into center field. And O'Grady's got himself a leadoff single, so the band keeps playing here for the Seibu Lions. They're swinging the bats here against Ojima. First pitch And O'Grady takes it right back through the box into center field. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Haruka Yamada. For Yamada on the season, he's hitting .211. He's got no homers and 9 RBIs. It's the nod at shortstop this evening. Normally, the trusty and reliable Suzuki Genda would be the guy we would normally see. So here comes the first pitch. He squares to bunt, and he takes a fastball right down the middle. The count is 0-1. It's the one thing that I'm not a big fan of. I like the fact that they do sacrifice bunt. I like the fact that these teams do bunt a lot. So I think it's a very important part of the game. It's often lost by the North American and the Latin Americans. But what I don't like is the way that he waggles the bat. He really waggles it and waggles it and waggles it. As they throw over to first base, and easily getting back is O'Grady. I like the bat to be silent. I like to be able to focus right over top of the bat as the pitch is delivered. But he's got a little bit too much movement. And there he pops it up. And that is a terrible bunt. It's caught by the catcher in foul territory. So Yamada does not execute here properly. He is gone for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Shohei Suzuki. So part of my criticism for what he was doing is part of that right there. He can't stabilize the bat. The bat is in constant motion. I'll see that sometimes with hitters. Hitters will, when they're up at the plate, they have too much bat movement. And as they have to get their hands into the launch position, what ends up happening is you see as the hands get into launch position, the hands get into a different spot every time. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Suzuki. Our friend V-Rush says that you don't see a lot of bunts in the majors. It's true. The style of the game is completely different in North America because with the Latin players and the North Americans, as there's a fastball swung on, it is grounded up the middle. It hits the base, and it goes right into center field as it gets by the middle infield. And that is going to be a base hit. It was a seeing eye single by Suzuki. Ball had eyes for sure, and that is going to put O'Grady over to second. It's going to put runners at first and second, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Ito. So Ito doubled his first time up, and he came around and scored a run on the bases clearing double by Jansen Witt. So our friend V-Rush says, yeah, you don't see a lot of bunts in the major leagues, and as we agree with you, and the reason you don't see that is because there's more depth in the order where guys can put the ball into the seats. There's a lot more physically stronger players that come into that league. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. When you look at the Japanese players, the thing that they look for in the import hitters, they want guys to be able to put the ball in the seats. They're looking for the power. The Japanese hitters traditionally, the majority of the guys don't have the pop. Well, there are the exceptions, just like in the lineup tonight, Yamakawa, he's got 27 homers, leads the Pacific League. As we mentioned, it is Hideto Asamura is on that board as well. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is going to be 1 ball, no balls and 2 strikes, to Ito. I was just looking at my notes. This is through the games on Sunday, the Sunday NPB games. After Asamura, the leading home run hitter is not in the lineup for the Marines. That is Brandon Laird. He's got 12. As I said, it doesn't take into account last night's games. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's tapped slowly over to short. And the only play is going to be to first base, as that is where Fujioka is going to have to go down as a ground out 6-3. Both of the runners are going to have to advance. So that means O'Grady goes to third. Suzuki goes to second. That is going to bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. So in this lineup tonight, well, truthfully speaking, in the Pacific League right now, there are 8 players that have 10 or more home runs through Sunday's games. 2 are with the Fighters, 2 are with the Lions. And then there's 1 for the Buffaloes, 1 for the Marines, 1 for the Eagles, and 1 for the Hawks. So here comes the first offering to Maury, and it is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Now, in the Central League, it's a whole different kettle of fish. There's all kinds of guys with home runs over there. As Murakami, the Swallows' third baseman, leads all the NPB with 31 homers. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Maury. And Ojima delivers. It's a fastball that just misses, and the count is now 1-1. Okamoto for the Yomiuri Giants has 21 homers. And then everybody else is below the magic number of 20. The Yomiuri Giants have 5 players that are in double digits with their home runs, but the egg in Tokyo, or the Tokyo Dome, has a reputation as a homer dome, kind of like a launching pad, like the Rogers Center in Toronto. Fred Eric says the Central League has big power. I think it's big power, but also I think the stadiums play into that too there, Eric. Here's the pitch. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. Our friend V-Rush asked the question, is Roki Sasaki sent down to the minors? Nope. I saw today that they're going to shut him down to the All-Star break because he's been battling blisters on his fingers. And apparently there was a blister or a couple of blisters that haven't healed properly. So they're just going to take their time with him and wait until after the All-Star break. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Really nice stomp by the catcher, Kato, and that's going to run the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Maury. The runner at second is Suzuki. The runner at third is O'Grady. The Lions are threatening here in the second inning for more runs. Here comes the offering now from the lefty, who kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and that runs the count now to 3-2 on Tomoya Maury. So 51 pitches already. They certainly don't want to walk Maury, as Yamakawa is looming on deck. Bringing him to the plate with the bases loaded will present a huge issue. So you got to figure that Maury's going to get a good pitch to hit here. Here comes the 3-2 offering. And here's the offering. It is a fastball that misses down. And that is going to load the bases, and that's going to bring up the Pacific League home run leader in Hotake Yamakawa. So Ojima is not making it easy on himself here. 3 walks in the first 2 innings. He's also given up 4 hits. And now the big fella steps to the plate. Yamakawa, his first time up, he drew a walk, and he came around on the bases clearing double by Witt. But he didn't get anything thrown to him that was remotely a strike. So the runner at third is O'Grady. The runner at second, Suzuki. The runner at first is Maury. And here's the pitch to Yamakawa. It's a first pitch fastball swung on and fouled away. It was off the mask of the catcher. As we watch the highlight again, that's always tough. It was fouled straight back right off of the mask of Kato. No balls and 1 strike to Yamakawa. He uses the 2-piece mask, so the mask had come ajar from his helmet. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Moving back on the warning track, backing up is the right fielder, Kakanaka. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Yamakawa for the 3rd out of the inning. He sent it a ways, but not deep enough. And that is going to do it here as the Lions strand the bases loaded. There was no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the second inning. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 3, the Chiba Lotte Marines. No score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with the call on the bottom of the second.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Coming up to bat, it's going to be the heart of the batting order here for the Marines in their half of the second inning. It's going to be Hisanori Yasuda, Seiya Inoue, and Toshiya Sato, 4, 5, and 6 hitters. It is cloud in the area, as we mentioned before. There were showers around. It might still get a little bit here as there is some low cloud moving in. But we expect in another half an hour or so that will pass right on through. And the first pitch is a fastball delivered to Yasuda that missed inside, and the count is 1-0. Yasuda hitting .245 on the season with a couple of homers and 15 RBIs. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the left field line, but that is going to drift into the seats. It's going to run the count to 1-1. I can't remember a game at Chiba that we've watched where there didn't seem to be some type of wind. I know it's the stadium is fairly close to the water, and so it makes you wonder if that has the impact that causes it. Now, the players, you can see just how their jerseys are blowing around. And here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball that is swung on, missed, and the count is now 1-2. Our friend undrafted player is in the house. And so we've got all our bases covered, it seems, tonight, as he is from France listening in. There's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. So we've got India, we've got Australia, we've got the United States. Now we've got France and Canada all in the house tonight. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yasuda. And here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Yasuda is a lefty facing the right-hander Matsumoto. Matsumoto gets his sign, and now he's ready to work. He rocks into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and just squirts away there from Mori, but that runs the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I was contemplating calling the All-Star game tonight, the Major League Baseball one. A little bit of a flip of the coin on that one, and I haven't yet decided if I'm going to do the Japanese ones either. We'll have to wait and see if that's going to be part of our schedule or not. There's a fastball that misses down, and now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yasuda. I was kind of thinking about maybe being able to do that one there, and if I don't do the Major League game, then maybe I'll double back and do another NPB game late night tomorrow. Here's the 3-2 pitch. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and Yasuda goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up Seiya Inoue. My only issue is that on the Thursday morning, or actually on the Wednesday morning, North American time, I have to do some of that stuff. I have to get myself prepared. Our friend undrafted player says some NPB teams have some NPB ever played major league teams? It's a great question. If you go back into the 1970s, the Japanese teams would sometimes hold spring training in the United States. There's a fastball that misses up, and the count is 1-0. I remember seeing photographs a long time ago of the Yomiuri Giants. I believe it was the Yomiuri Giants were doing a spring training with the Atlanta Braves. And as a matter of fact, it was on some of the baseball cards back in the 70s where one of the hitters was hitting, and We had the Braves coaches and the Giants coaches in the background around the cage. So fastball was taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. But obviously, in the last couple of years, not so much. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count's now 3-1. They have had some exhibition games in years past where they've come over and they've done a little bit of training in the United States and in Arizona, and they've played some spring training games. But that's been a few years now. I can't remember the last time exactly. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 3-2. The reality of it is the major leaguers usually at the end of a season will go on a tour, and they go over to Japan and they play a series. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2. Sometimes they'll actually play the club teams. So the touring major leaguers will play against, say, for example, the Amuri Giants or those type of teams. And then what they will do is then they'll play a all-star team of Japanese players. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 3-2 to Inoue. Our friend Virash asked the question, do you follow the KBO as well? Not particularly. The KBO, I would say, is probably less on my docket. I follow the player transfers a little bit, but not necessarily the game itself. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away. So I couldn't tell you the standings right now. I don't know who's in first and second and so on and so forth. I did follow a little bit of it when the games were being broadcast on ESPN with John Shambi and Eduardo Perez doing the games during the first year of the pandemic. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And there is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and Inoue is going to earn himself a walk. That was a 9-pitch at bat. And Inoue is aboard with the base on balls. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiya Sato. Our friend Eris385 says Babe Ruth took a Major League Baseball team of all-stars to play Japanese teams back in the day. And that's correct. There is that as well. Interesting player, interesting former player, former manager, longtime manager that was inducted into the Japanese Baseball Hall of Fame was Lefty O'Doul. And Lefty O'Doul was, I believe, involved with the Pacific League San Francisco Spiders. There's a breaking ball that misses down and into Toshiya Sato. Sato is the first baseman. He's hitting .218. He's got 5 homers and 23 RBIs. As he bats here with the runner Inoue at first and 1 away. Matsumoto holds set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on it. Is popped up over on the right side. Shallow right field. Drifting back on it is the second baseman, Tonosaki. He's going to make the catch. That's going to retire Sato for the second out. So 2 gone, and that's going to bring up the left fielder to Tsuyoshi Sagano. And so as Lefty O'Doul, as I was saying, he was the one who was elected to the Hall of Fame as a builder. And he was there pre-World War II. And then once the war ended, he went back and continued to do his work in developing baseball in Japan. He was very well respected in the baseball community and also just in Japan in general. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend Viraj says, where do I think that Juan Soto will end at the trade deadline? There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. It's going to run the count even at 1-1. It's a great question. I mean, I think the New York Yankees have the arsenal of prospects in which to deliver Soto, and I don't think that they would hesitate in pulling the trigger and doing it. I think in return, I want at least 1, if not 2 of Andy Volpe, Jason Dominguez, and possibly even Kevin Alcantara. There is a fastball swung on it. Has popped up to the left side of the infield. Backing up is the shortstop, Yamada. He's camped out underneath it. He's going to make the catch. And Sagano is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the second. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. You're now through 2 complete. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 3 Chiba Lotte Marines, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment. The call at the top of the third inning. We're glad you guys could be here. Here's Steve again.
Hello, friends. Steve coming back at you, a clean-shaven Steve. Thank you for watching Last Reps Baseball. And please continue to support my channel among others, like Another Hollis Build. Awesome commercial. And now I'll show you a few more things that we do have. We have toys, like this bobblehead Star Wars on wheels. We have Noids. We can't keep avoiding them forever. We do have Legos. Love my Legos. We have Origami Folder. Check him out. He's new into this, getting started, has good following already. We have Red Beard Breaks. And we also have these things that, in a pinch, will tell you what your temperature is. So, if you like all of this, and if you like Last Reps Baseball, join all of us. We'd love to have you. And I know you would enjoy us. Thank you, peace, good night, and cheers.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher, whether it's Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday, the Saturday morning cartoons, or the Sunday shoutouts. He's got something for everybody. Be sure to go check him out after the ball game. As we're moving now to the top of the third inning, it is going to be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming to bat for the Lions. That means it's going to be Shuta Tonosaki, Jansen Witt, and Takia Nakamura. The left-hander Kazuya Ojima tonight has really struggled, as he has thrown a lot of pitches, 54 to be exact, through the first 2 innings. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Tonosaki. Tonosaki tonight is 0 for 1. He popped the first his first time up. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 1-1. Our friend V-Rush says, what about Bellinger, a few other prospects for Soto? I don't know where the Dodgers sit in the prospect department. Bobby Miller is a pitcher who started the Futures game, who would be somebody they could give up, but I don't know what the depth of their prospects would be. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded foul down the third base line. The third baseman for the Marines, which was Yasuda, had gone to his backhand side. The ball got by him, but the third base umpire said it was a foul ball. We're going to get the look at that one. Boy, oh boy, that was pretty close. I'd like to be right on the line to see it. Looked like it went over the bag, but I'm sure the Marines will take that as a break. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on, another ground ball down the third base line. That keeps the count at 1-2. Our friend Eric asked the question. He says, what do Japanese baseball fans remember of Bobby Valentine? That's a great question as well. And to be honest, I don't have an answer on that one. I don't know how the baseball community in Japan felt about Bobby Valentine, the former Met manager. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Backing up on it is the shortstop, Fujioka. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Tonosaki. I don't know if I'm really a big fan of the way that the shortstop, Fujioka, went back to get that ball, as he was back, and then he started to backpedal. Anytime you get a guy backpedaling, it usually presents danger. I think he started a little bit too soon. Usually you want to get the guy to overrun it and then come back to it. So that's going to bring up Jansen Witt. Witt is 1 for 1 tonight. He doubled home 3 runs in the first inning. He takes a breaking ball upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. So the Dodgers and the Yankees are the 2 obvious choices of where a player like Juan Soto might land. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 1-1 to Witt. But you start looking at some of those other teams, the teams that are the next layer down. I hate to say it, but a team like the Baltimore Orioles is loaded with prospects right now and guys that are ready to come to the big leagues. So it makes you wonder, maybe they might be a sneaky player in this. Could they take 2 or 3 of their prospects and flip them for Soto? And they still really aren't going anywhere at the immediate moment, although they're having a good season this year as they're over 500. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count now to 1-2 to Witt. I look at some of the teams, like the Blue Jays are going to be a non-starter for a guy like Witt. They don't have the prospects. Red Sox in the East won't trade with the Yankees, won't trade with the Yankees, but really don't have the prospects to pry a player like Soto loose right now. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul. Keeps the count at 1-2. Tampa Bay Rays, well, they've already locked up Wander Franco to a long contract, and they wouldn't be able to afford Soto. And so once you start going through the list of teams and you start scratching out the names, there's not a lot of teams that are out there that can put together a package for Soto. Chicago Cubs are going nowhere. Their cupboard is sort of bare. There's a fastball swung on it, missed. And Witt is gone on strikes for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the DH to Kia Nakamura. So all good questions, things to ponder. I'm not necessarily convinced that any of the teams outside of those 2 big markets will do it. Now, the Angels are another one. The Angels really don't have a whole lot down in the farm system. I got a good kick out of the Angels today or yesterday when the draft started. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0 to Nakamura. In the 2021 draft, the Angels took all pitchers. There's a fastball that comes in for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So their first-round pick, whoever it was this year, broke the streak, broke the trend. It was a positional player that they took. It was a non-pitcher. So here's the 1-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. There's room, but coming in now and battling the wind is the left fielder. And that is going to be hauled in by Sagano, and Nakamura is gone for out number 3. So after a real rocky first inning, Ojima has found a way to settle himself down as he's retired 4 in a row now. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board here in the 3rd inning. We're now through 2.5. It is the Seibu Lions 3 and the Chiba Lotte Marines no score. Stick around, everyone. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the bottom of the 3rd. We're glad you guys could be here with us tonight. Here's our friend Steve again, and while he's giving it to you here, I'm going to try to get myself the cup of tea going to keep myself awake for this one. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Hey, guys, and thank you, Freddie. Steve coming back at you. That's right, Steve Rademacher. I would like to thank each and every one of you that is tuned into my channel. And today, let's do a little shout out for some other great channels you should be watching. There is WVogs 18. There's Big D's Sports and Collectibles. You all know another Hollis build. Why not Like Father, Like Son? That's a great duo that does some great stuff. It shows some great cards. And of course, the one and only Bud Stoney, creators of One of Ones. The creator of One of Ones, and they're all signed on the back. Bud Stoney, One of One, like this beautiful Robin Yount that he made for me. He made me another Robin Yount, this time mini, and a Christian Yelich mini. Great cards, and he does more than cards. We have darts of Hulk Hogan and many other things. So give them a look-see and give me another look-see. Subscribers are always welcome, and back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel, and in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. We're now moving to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming to bat. Yudai Fujioka, Takuma Kato, and Akito Takabe here to face the right-hander Matsumoto. The first pitch delivered to Fujioka is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Just to finish off about the Orioles with our friend V-Rush there. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. The owner of the Orioles, was it Angelos? As far as I know, you're correct. He's not going to pony up $500 million. But there is some talk that that ownership might be changing. And there's a ball that has popped up down the left field line, and it ends up going, and the wind takes it, and it ends up going in between Brian O'Grady, the left fielder, and the shortstop. Yamada, it's going to drop in, and it's going to be a wind-aided double by Fujioka. That there, probably on a normal day, is an automatic out, as both the shortstop and left fielder were cruising in, and the next thing you know, the ball kept slicing away from both of them. Ends up getting down for a base hit. Grady tracked it down, but sliding into second was Fujioka safely. So he is aboard with a leadoff double, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Takuma Kato. So far as shaky as this game looked right out of the gate, and here's Kato squaring to bunt already, probably with good reason. Here's the first pitch. It is a bunted, and it's a good one. It is fielded by Mori. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Kato. It's going to go down as a sacrifice, 2-3 for out number 1. It advances Fujioka to third, and that'll bring the top of the order to Kabi to the plate. I didn't tell you, but Kato on the season was 0 for 17, so probably a no-brainer for him to square to bunt. He gets back into the dugout, and he gets high fives from his teammates. And that's going to bring the top of the order, Akito Takabe, to the plate. So Takabe is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to the pitcher his first time up, or actually grounded to the first baseman his first time up. And it was the pitcher who was covering on the play who had to race him to the bag, which is no easy feat. So here comes the first pitch, and it is a split finger pitch that misses down for ball 1. The third baseman, Jansen Witt, is right up on the proverbial grass. It is turf, so the green portion of the infield, as he's going to take away the bunt here from the speedy center fielder Takabe, just in case they figure about trying to have a suicide squeeze. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball taken on the inside corner for a strike, and the count is 1-1. Our friend Eris asks, what are my thoughts about the MLB draft so far this year? 1 ball and 1 strike to Takabe. He holds at the chest as the right-hander Matsumoto, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and grounded foul, and the count is 1-2. I think if I was making picks this year, I would probably be leaning towards college players more so than high schoolers. And the reason for that, especially over the last couple of years, is how much scouting and how much playing has been done by the high schoolers. You know, how many guys have been under people's eyes. So college is certainly, with a full season the last couple of years. The 2020 season, of course, was a wash, as there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Takabe. I would say if you've got a chance to evaluate the college players far better than the high schoolers, although this is probably the first year a lot of scouts got a chance to see. And there's a ball that is swung on in the dirt, is fielded by Witt. He throws to first, and they say not in time, as the runner Takabe was able to get down the line. I have a feeling this is going to be looked at. And sure enough, the manager comes right up. Yeah, let's go have a look at this one. I don't think he got there in time, but that's my real-time look. Once we start to get the replays, we'll find out here in a minute, as the first baseman Yamakawa's got a good chuckle going on. The runner at third, Fujioka, had to hold still as the third baseman Witt had charged the ball, and his only play was to first base. I want to see the ball that the hitter hit again, because it looked like there was something that was down. It looked like it had hit the dirt, and he played a little bit of cricket with it. As we get the replay, I think that call is going to be overturned. I think Takabe, on reputation, was ruled safe. We're going to get a different angle this time. And I still think that call is going to get overturned. I think he's going to be ruled out. Before I get back to my thoughts on the MLB draft, our friend V-Rush asks, is there any app or website where I can find NPB stats in English? I don't know what kind of computer that you have. But certainly the computer that I have, I can translate pages using Google, or the Google app that I have, to be able to translate the NPB page and their statistics from I would say Japanese to the North American script, or to our numbers. And so that's the best route that I would give you to be able to do that. Another one, I could put it in the, I don't have it up on mine tonight. I haven't done it yet, but I will put it up into the chat right now. I put it up yesterday. There was a scorecard you guys might be interested in using. It's an English one. It doesn't give you the season stats. And here comes the call from the umpire. And they have reversed the call. It is going to be a ground out as Takabi is retired 5-3. And he is out for the second out of the inning. That was the right call. They should have made the call the first time. But that is where instant replay does its job. Just taking a look here. As I'm about to give you this here, but it looks like it's not working tonight. Great, fantastic. So the English scorecard that they have isn't working this evening. So I'm not going to post it into the chat. So 2 away, and that brings up the right fielder Kakanaka, and the first pitch is swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side. The count is 0-1. It's usually fairly reliable, but sometimes it goes down 2 or 3 times a year. And it is not up there right now. So that's my thought, Eris, on the draft. I understand the 3 of the top hitters, Tremar Johnson, Elijah Green, and Jackson Holiday are the 3 top players. As the fastball misses upstairs and the count goes to 1-1. All pretty much can't miss picks. Everything was, if you needed one of those positions. Obviously, the Orioles took Holiday, the shortstop, 1 overall. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 1-2. I definitely can't help you on anything in the KBO. But as I say, if you go to the NPB website, and you can do the stats, but you can translate it over into English. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kakanaka. He really chokes up here, and he has a really different 2-strike approach. He widens out. He sinks really low. And here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball that misses on the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kakanaka. I think the big shock of the first round for a lot of people was the Kumar Rocker pick at number 3. And not only did Rocker get picked at number 3, they announced this morning he signed below slot money. About 5-point-some-odd million. So very curious to see that. I'm really interested to see some of the signing. And there's a fastball swung on it, is lined up off the pitcher. And that is going to bounce over toward first base. Kakanaka is going to get himself a single. He's also going to get an RBI, as that's going to bring in Fujioka from third. That's going to cut the lead to 3-1 here. And they are going to have yet again, the pitching coach is coming out with the trainer, and they're going to have a look at the pitcher here. Looked like he got hit on the right shin. So let's see as we get the replay here. It was a 1-hop shot right back up just below the kneecap. He's very fortunate. If anybody's ever been hit in the knee before with a baseball, you can do quite a bit of damage. I know that feeling. So Matsumoto gets a couple of tune-up tosses here, and he says he's good, and we're ready to go back at it. So the runner at first is Kakanaka. There's 2 gone here. And Shogo Nakamura strides to the plate. The second baseman is 0 for 1 today. He popped out to the shortstop his first time up. So this game had all the makings of it going sideways for the Marines in the first inning. It is settled down, and now we have ourselves a ball game. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Nakamura. Nakamura's got a little bit of juice. He's got 6 homers and 40 runs batted in. Curious tonight if any balls actually leave the park for home runs. Just that stiff wind in from center field. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 1-1 to Nakamura. Certainly favors the pitchers. Less to a degree the hitters here. But I don't know what the configuration is. If the balls will travel even in a stadium like this. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander Matsumoto has been around the zone for most of the evening. And here comes the offering, but instead he throws over to first, and diving back in time is Kakanaka. But he too, his pitch count is up. This is going to be pitch number 57. He's done a lot better than his counterpart Okajima. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here comes the offering. Kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nakamura. Hisanori Yasuda waits his turn on deck should Nakamura find a way on base. Again, the right-hander Matsumoto checks the runner at first. He comes set. And now he delivers. It's a fastball that just misses down and away. The count is now 3-2. He sure wanted that pitch, but they couldn't sell it to the home plate umpire. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Getting his lead at first base is Kakanaka. He's not really a threat to run. He's only got 1 bag on the season. But he is going to be in motion with the 3-2. And there's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is line foul down the left field line. That's going to keep the count at 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That runner will be off and running. Our friend Underacted Player asked the question, do you think some NPB teams can perform versus MLB teams? Absolutely. Absolutely they can. The difference is the first difference is that you're only allowed 3 import players on an NPB team. And there's a fastball that is on the fist that's fouled away, and the count is going to remain at 3-2. So what is better, Major League Baseball or the NPB? In my opinion, it's easy, Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball does not have a limit on the import players. So when you think about it, you got all kinds of stuff that's going on. Our friend Mick3Y came back in and he said he got caught up with the Bay Stars Dragons game. It's all good. We're glad you're with us when you can be here. And there's a fastball swung on. This is lifted up into shallow right field. Backing up on it is the second baseman, Tanasaki. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to do it here. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments as we're going to be going to the top of the 4th inning. But for the Marines in their half of the 3rd, there was 1 run in the inning. There was 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 3 complete. It is the Saitama Seibu Lions 3, the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. We'll carry on with some of my thoughts, and we got a really cool chat tonight. There's humming around here and being able to do it. Too bad Johnny's not with us tonight. He could stir everybody up.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thanks again, Steve, and we appreciate your support of the channel. We were just talking about some stuff here with regards to can NPB teams play with MLB teams? And the answer is yes. But as I said, the problem is that over the length of time of a 162-game season, it would probably be in the favor of the MLB teams. And that's not to say that you don't have good pitching or there isn't good stuff in the Japanese league. The limitation on the import players is probably item number 1, just the way that the MLB can draw from Latin America, South America, pretty much all over the world. As there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to O'Grady. So O'Grady, Yamada, and Suzuki here to face the Left-hander Ojima in the 4th inning. And here comes the offering from Ojima. It's a breaking ball that misses, and the count is now 1-1. So O'Grady tonight is 1 for 1. He singled back up the middle his first time up. He hit it right back through the pitcher. So here comes the 1-1 pitch, but instead Ojima steps off the back and reaches for the rosin bag. So that's kind of my thoughts on the NPB/MLB matchups. But yes, they can play with them because they do have some pitching over there that can get the job done at times. And there's a breaking ball that swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. Our friend Eris385 says that was a shock. It reminds me of the situations of Luke Hochevar and Aaron Crow during their drafts being unsigned draftees. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and O'Grady has gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. The previous year in getting drafted as high as they did the next year and under slot. Yeah, the Kumar Rocker, they must have had the pre-draft deal in place with the Rangers. Get it done, get him signed. It also left some money on the table that they could sign another one. They drafted a kid out of Michigan named Brock Porter. There's a first pitch fastball that misses to Yamada, and the count is 1-0. Yamada popped up to the catcher his first time up. He's 0 for 1 tonight. That was on a bunt. And here comes the fastball that misses, and the count is now 2-0. So 2-0 to Yamada. So keep your eye on the kid named Brock Porter. He was a Clemson commit. They mocked him in the first round, and he slipped all the way to the 4th. There's a fastball that misses again, and the count is now 3-0 to Yamada. So I would say when they start announcing the draft signing bonuses, he would be a guy that would probably get first-round type of money. So some of the money that Rocker didn't get might end up going to a kid like Porter. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. So basically, the Rangers would get basically 2 quality first-round picks, but one in the 3rd round and one in the 1st round. A breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. Our friend V. Rush asked the question, which MLB team do you support? There's a fastball swung on and fouled into the shins of Yamada, and that's going to keep the count at 3-2. I grew up 20 minutes from Old Tiger Stadium, so the Detroit Tigers are in the blood. As you can see, as part of the mascot for Last Raps Baseball, a little bit of the influence. It's part of the reason. The other reason is that I live in a community where we have a large Asian population. There's a fastball that misses down. Not sure if that's going to be ball 4, if it actually hit the batter. As time is called, it must have been that the batter had been hit, and that's how we're going to rule it. So Yamada is aboard, and that is going to bring up the top of the order in Shohei Suzuki. So I've been fortunate to see a World Series victory for the Tigers, and been a couple other times to the World Series, and they came up a little bit short. They play in Comerica Park, a little different than the old stadium we used to go to. So it is Shohei Suzuki who steps to the plate, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Suzuki tonight has been on both times up. He's singled in the 2nd. He walked and scored a run in the 1st. He's been the consummate table setter in the top spot of the lineup tonight. So here comes the 0-1 offering. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Kojima really, after the 1st inning, had settled down. Didn't look like he was going to be able to get out of that 1st inning, and now he's been able to find himself a little bit of a groove here, as he's been able to retire 5 of the last 6 batters he's faced. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The center fielder, Suzuki. There's been a couple of those draft picks where guys get picked, and started to tell the story the other night about Carter Stewart. As there's the ball thrown over to first base and diving back in time as Yamada. Carter Stewart, of course, was the first-round pick of the Atlanta Braves. As here comes the 1-2 offering. Kick and deliver. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the left field line. It's going to go foul, and that's going to keep the count at 1-2. His agent, of course, was Scott Boras, and the Atlanta Braves said, we looked at your medical charts, and we're not going to give you the money that you should get for Slot. And he said, well, why'd you draft me? I'm not signing with you guys. He ended up going to a junior college in Florida. And as he went to the JUCO in Florida, he pitched really well, and then he ended up signing a 6-year contract with the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Our friend Mick 3Y says, hopefully my 3-game parlay with the Bay Stars, the Buffaloes, and the Carp will come through. I haven't looked at any of these scores as the English scoreboard we see is down right now. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul over on the first base side. It's going to keep the count at 1-2 to Suzuki. I don't have any live scoring updates from that end. I can give you the scores of the game. That's pretty much about it right now. As all the other games are underway, I can give you a quick rundown on it, but I've got no other details. So here comes the 1-2 offering. Jima throws over to first, and diving back in time is the base runner Yamada. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Swallows have a 3-0 lead over the Giants. The Dragons are beating the Bay Stars 3-2. That's in the 4th. And the other game in the Central, the Tigers are beating the Carp 2-0. That's in the bottom of the 5th. There's that breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is now 2-2 to Suzuki. Other game going on, the Buffaloes have a 4-1 lead over the Fighters. That is in the 4th inning. That's your update. The other game between the Golden Eagles and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, well, they have the night off tonight. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And it is a fastball that is swung on. It is grounded through the 6th hole into left field. It's going to be a base hit for Suzuki. Advancing to second is Yamada. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Aido. And that is also going to bring a conference to the mound as the pitching coach is on his way out. The Marines are all going to get up on top of the mound, and as he listened to the words of wisdom from the pitching coach here and discussed the situation as they got runners at first and second with 1 gone. And Aido steps to the plate tonight. He is 1 for 2. He's got a double, he scored a run, and he's grounded out to the shortstop. Our friend Mick 3Y says 10-2. I'm not sure what the 10-2 represents. Update our ticker for you here, because in between the innings, I'm trying to get myself the hot tea ready to go so we can stay through the night with you. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into left field. Moving back underneath it is the left fielder. That is Sagano. He makes the catch. The runner's tagged, but they're going to have to hold. Aido sent it a long way, but just not long enough. He is gone for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Tomoe Mori. So Mori steps up to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He's popped to short, and he has walked. So 3-1 is the scoreline here in the top of the 4th inning. Usually we get a rush in the 5th inning of folks that come in who have been playing the over and the unders for the 5th inning, wanting to hear the action. Oh, 10-2 was the Carp score the other day, yeah. I think that was against the Giants. They really stuck it to him. There's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded over to first. Neatly picked up by the first baseman, Sato. He's going to run over and step on the bag, and Ojima wiggles himself out of yet another jam. It's going to go down as a ground out to 3 for out number 3. That is going to do it here, as there were no runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. That is now 6 runners left by the Lions through their 4 innings. We are now moving to the bottom half of the 4th inning. The scoreline is 3-1. Stick around, everybody. Hang tight. We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this from our friend, you got it, Steve Rademacher.
Hello, and we'll be right back to Last Reps Baseball after this brief message from me, Steve Rademacher. Thank you all for watching my channel and supporting me. Thank you all for supporting Freddie in Last Reps Baseball. He does an awesome job commentating. And to show you some more stuff that you could see on my channel, we have shiny Pokemon cards. We have Hall of Fame quarterbacks like Brett Favre. We have Bo Jackson playing baseball. That's right. That's his rookie card. Very nice. We even have gold. We have gold. We have wrestlers. That's Rowdy Piper. And yes, we even have Jason Stokes and many ways to destroy him. So now, thank you again. Back to your regular program with your host, Last Reps Baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. It is going to be the heart of the Chiba batting order coming to bat here in the fourth. That means it's going to be Hisanori Yasuda, Seiya Inoue, and Toshiya Sato to face the right-hander Wataru Matsumoto. We're talking about a few things in the chat, and in the last inning, our friend Undrafted Player says he likes collecting sports stuff, but for this moment, he hasn't got anything related to Japanese baseball. And so here comes the first offering to Yasuda. As Matsumoto goes into the motion, he kicks and he delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball one. The count is 1-0. When I was over in Japan, I was able to get the baseball cards the way they sell it. They sell it in a few ways. They'll sell them by the packs or by the boxes, and you have to really hunt for both. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. If you would have saw some of the places that I had to go to try to find baseball cards, it was kind of classic in Tokyo. These backdoor places, up down an alley, up a back stairs. There's a fastball that misses, and the count is 3-0. Just grabbing some stuff that we haven't had. But the second year I went, they had Calbee potato chips. Calbee is the potato chip company. They put cards on the potato chips. So when you buy a pack or you buy a bag of potato chips for equivalent of $1 US. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1 to Yasuda. You get on the outside pack of the chips, there are baseball cards attached. There's a fastball that misses outside, and Yasuda's aboard here for the first time tonight as he's drawn a leadoff walk, and that's going to bring up the DH Seiya Inoue. And so the other part to this is around Christmas time, when I was there, they had the Japanese national team player cards. And so you could go and get the sets of that, and that was pretty cool. So those were Calbee cards, and they were neat. They're a little bit smaller than your regular sport card, a little bit glossier, a little bit different. Calbee's got a little bit different take on how they produce their stuff, which is neat. They're not quite like the minis of the 1970s. There's the first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul down the left field line. It just hooks to the foul pole. But boy, did Seiya Inoue turn on that one. It's just a long strike for a 0-1 count. So Japanese stuff, it was kind of cool, but I've been able to pick up some stuff. I've got a hat, and I've had some calendars for a bit. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over to first base. The first base umpire said Inoue didn't go, and the count's going to be even at 1-1. The cards are the obvious choice. Don't really do a lot with the jerseys. A team like the Hiroshima Carp, they really produce T-shirts like crazy. You can always get T-shirts, but I don't know if they've got stuff in my size. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count's 2-1. My size would have to be custom. I'm XL and possibly a double X, depending on the manufacturer. And so when I was in Japan, when I'm on the subway or in these streets, I tower over a lot of people. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball that's a check swing comebacker. Back to the pitcher. They go to second for one. Back to first. It's going to be a double play. That was an excuse me swing by Inoue. He checked it right back to the pitcher, but it goes as a 1-6-3 double play as they are fortunate. And that is going to help the pitcher Matsumoto out immensely, and that will bring up Toshiya Sato the plate with 2 Nice play by Matsumoto to react to the ball there on the comebacker. As we said, Inoue was trying to hold up his swing, couldn't do it, and ended up playing pepper with the pitcher. Our friend Mick says he thought the Marines were going to do better early on. As there's a first pitch strike to Sato, and the count is quickly 0-1. Sato was 0 for 1 tonight. He popped to the second baseman his first time up. He is waiting on the offering here from Matsumoto. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to first. It's knocked down, but it squirts away from the first baseman, and it is fielded by Yamakawa, and he throws it wild. And going to reach safely is going to be Sato. I think that's going to be definitely an E3 because they did have a shot to get him. We're going to watch that again. Sato hit the ball. First of all, squirted away from the first baseman. When he picked it up, he tries to throw to the pitcher on the run. Yeah, that's definitely an E3. He threw it behind the pitcher covering. That's going to go in the books as an error, not just on my book, but as well as that. So E3 in the scorebook, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Tsuyoshi Sagano. Sagano tonight is 0 for 1. He popped to the shortstop to end the second inning. And here comes the first offering from Matsumoto. He delivers a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 1-0. Our friend V-Rush says, I like the Carp jersey. Looks almost similar to the Cincinnati Reds. Yep, very much so. And I'm sure Shogo Akiyama, who signed recently with the Carp after being released by the Cincinnati Reds and then by asking for his release from the Padres organization, found it pretty easy to go slip into those red uniforms. There's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul behind home plate. It's going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count to 1-1. Our friend Undrafted Player says, in the past years, I sent some fan mail pack requests to the MLB teams, and maybe he'll do it to the NPB as well. I've never done anything like that. I remember as a kid, I sent some stuff to the Milwaukee Brewers. I think it was to Paul Molitor and to Robin Yount. And I never got anything back. And then after that, I said, enough's enough. I'm not sending anything else out. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped foul down the first base line. It is fielded by Yamakawa. And he's just going to flip it into the seats, and that's going to run the count to 1-2. Mick3Y says there might be a website that has jerseys and merch. KBO has one. Yeah, one of the things that you'll notice about the NPB is that the Pacific League seems to be a little bit more on that stuff, whereas the Central League, it's almost like you got to deal with each individual team. There's a fastball that comes up and in. The back Sagano off the plate. The count is now 2-2. I went to the Tokyo Dome and checked out the Giants merch. I went to the Jinju Stadium where the Swallows are, or where the Swallows play. Twice that I went there, and twice I was left disappointed, as they didn't really have an off-season merch thing going on. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count stays at 2-2. When I was in Osaka, I didn't get to either of the stadiums. It was in the off-season. Kind of regret not going over, just checking out the outside of the Koshin Stadium. I'll be back again. It'd be kind of neat to see. Of course, the Kyocera Dome is the Osaka Dome. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's the fastball that's missed outside. Off goes the runner down to second, and the throw is in time, and Sato is going to be retired. It's going to be a caught stealing, 2-6 to end the inning. It'll bring Sagano back up to lead off the fifth inning, and that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the fourth inning. There was no runs, there was no hits, there was no errors, and there was now nobody left aboard. We're now through 4. It is a 3-1 lead for the Seibu Lions. Come on back, everybody, for the fifth. We'll be right back with you. We appreciate you all for being here. And here is our friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and your support of our channel. And in turn, we like to support Matt Hollis. After the game, go check out San Diego's Best, as he's got all kinds of crazy things on his channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the fifth inning work coming up here for the left-hander Kazuya Ojima. We wrote him, or at least I wrote him off for dead in the first inning. He has settled himself down. He's at 88 pitches through 4 innings after that almost completely disastrous first inning. But he has settled down and survived as he's come on here for the fifth. It's going to be the big fella Hotaka Yamakawa, Shuda Tonosaki, and Jansen Witt, which is the heart of the batting order to face him. And the first pitch is a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yamakawa tonight is 0 for 1. He's flown out to right. He has walked and scored a run in his other 2 trips to the plate. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. It is an 0-2 offering coming from Ojima. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. I was talking about merchandise. Just generally, I found it was a little bit harder in Tokyo, at least not knowing kind of where to go and where to look. When I stayed in Asakusa a couple of times I was there, and there's a breaking ball that's swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. On the other side of the Sumida River, in Sumida, there was a department store, and it was probably one of the better department stores that had carried baseball stuff. There were jerseys and uniforms, but as I said, I find it difficult for myself, even shoes. I went into the Mizuno store in Osaka, also in the one of the Mizuno stores in Tokyo, and I would have liked to cut myself some turfs. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Yamakawa is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the second baseman, Shuda Tonosaki. And as I went into the stores to try to locate stuff, North American shoe size is a size 12 for my feet. I couldn't get anything in my size, or at least whatever I wanted in terms of color, in terms of what I wanted to match. I couldn't get anything in terms of the size when I went into these stores. So it was, kind of a custom order. There's a breaking ball that misses, that catches the outside corner. The count is 0-1 to Tonosaki. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. Moving back onto the warning track, backing up almost against the wall is the right fielder, Kakanaka. And he's going to haul that one in. Tonosaki, he hit that ball on the screws, but it ended up in the glove of Kakanaka, and he is retired for the second out. Our friend Mick says that he thinks his parlay might be done. Well, you never know. You never know until it's over. Our friend V-Rush asked the question. He says, how different is baseball in Japan from baseball in the States in terms of fan experience in the stadiums. Well, to be honest with you, I've never been to a game in Japan. I've always been there in the off season. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in. You can see the thing that goes on in the stands is that there's a lot of music, a lot of bands playing. There's a lot of fan interaction in the United States and in Canada, for that matter. There's a fastball that misses in. The count is now 2-0 to Jansen Witt. As I always like to talk about the exploding scoreboards and always trying to stimulate the fans. The fans have, whether it be in English soccer or whether it be in European sports, not just English soccer, but European sports, where the fans are into the soccer games as a fastball drops in for a called strike. Counts now 2-1. When you're over in Europe, the problem is that, or when you're over in Japan, the band will play and there's not a lot of sort of fan stimulation. That gives you the flavor of the game. The people are watching, they're into it. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. United States, even in Canada, I sometimes say to people, I go, when they leave the game and you ask them, you say, who won? People look at you and say, what do you mean? Who played? People sometimes just don't pay attention. I would say that's probably maybe half of the crowd that goes to professional sports. They aren't really paying attention. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is lined up in the middle. And Jansen Witt has got himself his second hit of the ball game, as that is a single into center field, and that is going to bring up the DH, Takeya Nakamura. So Jansen Witt, 2 hits tonight, and his 3 trips to the plate, and he's got 3 RBIs. He's having himself an afternoon or an evening in Japan. And that'll bring up Takeya Nakamura. So Nakamura is 0 for 2. He has flown to center and flown to left. I wonder what Witt is talking about over with the first baseman, Sato. He's in good conversation over there. So here comes the first offering to Nakamura. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted to deep right center field. This could be trouble. Moving back on the warning track and making the catch is Kakanaka. It was Nakamura sent it a long way, but not long enough, as he is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. So for the Lions in their half of the 5th, there was no runs, there was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. That is now 7 that they've left on through 5. We are now through 4.5. It is the site of a Seibu Lions 3, the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. Glad you guys could be here with us for this one. Here is our friend Matt again.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we like to support Matt. Be sure to check him out after the game. We do have, coming up to bat, it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the batting order for Chiba. It is going to be Tsuyoshi Sagano, Yudai Fujioka, and Takuma Kato. Sagano was up to bat when Sato got thrown out trying to steal second in the 4th inning. So he'll start with a fresh count here. The bottom of the 5th. And here we go as Sagano rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Sagano tonight is 0 for 1. He popped to short his first time up. And here comes the offering from Matsumoto, and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count goes now to 0-2. Our friend Mick says NPB and KBO do stop innings at 12 or 13, or they just tie. This year here, last year I can't comment on the KBO because, as I said, I don't really follow the KBO, and I don't know what's going on over there. There's a fastball fouled away. Last year in the Japanese league, they would stop the game after 9 innings, and the game would end in a tie. This year here, the games will go to 12 innings. If it's tied after 12, then they end the game. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Sagano was retired for the first out of the innings, so 1 up and 1 away. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Yudai Fujioka. For Fujioka, he is 1 for 1 today. He doubled and has scored the only Marines run. It was a kind of a chintzy double. It was a pop-up down the left field line. The wind kept taking it away from the shortstop and left fielder that finally dropped in. As a fastball swung on and fouled away. But at the end of the day, it's going to look like a line drive in the box score. It's helped raise Fujioka's batting average up to 164 on the season. As a fastball swung on, it is grounded over to first, and it is fielded neatly by the first baseman Yamakawa, and that is going to retire Fujioka. A ground out to 3 for out number 2. That's going to leave it all up to Takuma Kato. For Kato, he is looking for his first hit of the season. He is 0 for 17. He had a sacrifice his first time up. Our friend Mick says we might have a chance. He looked like an American import. I do believe the Tigers have a couple of imports that come out of the bullpen. I can go and take a check on that. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As I said, I don't really know a whole lot what's going on over there in that ball game. It is a 3-0 game for the Tigers. And so here comes the pitch from Matsumoto, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted to deep right field, and this ball is going to get down. It's up the gap, and it's off the wall. And digging for 2 is Kato, and he is going to cruise in there with his first hit of the season, as he's got himself a 2-out double, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Akito Takabe. So that's one way to break up the 0 for 17 slump. With an opposite field double, it almost bounded over for a ground rule double, but a double nonetheless for Kato. So I'm not sure where they've made the change or if they've made the change. But the Tigers, in their lineup tonight, they have Alcantara. That's Raul Alcantara, the former KBO pitcher. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses down, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Takabe. And for Alcantara, he has been used out of the bullpen. He was a former Oakland Athletic, amongst many others, teams that he has toured around and played with. I don't know if Wilkerson got the start or not tonight over there. There was a fastball swung on and missed. I think probably Wilkerson would have got the nod. So the count is now 1-1 to Takabe. Wilkerson was a former Milwaukee Brewer. As far as I can see, those are the only players on the roster that the Tigers have that are import players that are on the mound. And there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. This ball is going to get up the gap, and it's going to be trouble. You can pretty much bank that Takabe is going to be heading on the third. And here comes the throw back into the infield. And stopping at third is Takabe with a triple. It's an RBI. Kato is going to come around to score. And that is an RBI triple for Takabe. It's going to cut the lead to 3-2. And all the damage here has come with 2 away in the 5th inning, and that's going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound to have a word with his right-hander. As Katsuya Kakanaka is coming to the plate. So the scoring in the 5th inning continues. Just looking at our friend V-Rush, he says, American sports never end in a draw. Be it baseball, basketball, or football. I have to decide a winner. I personally like the way that the games are ended with a victory. I mean, there's nothing worse than going to a game and game ends in a tie. It's like kissing your sister. It really doesn't count. Or maybe that aunt that you have at the wedding, you give her a kiss on the cheek. It doesn't really count as a kiss. So here comes the first offering. It is a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Kakanaka. I would also say this, that with the American sports not ending in ties, I think that, as I say, I think that it's more exciting, especially if you can get in where you can make it a sudden death scenario. As a fastball that is now 1-1, especially in football or in basketball, maybe not even basketball. They do a small overtime at 5 minutes to the clock to decide the winner. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1. Our friend Undrafted Player says, we appreciate you for sharing your experiences, and we appreciate you for being here. He's going to get himself a nap, and he's going to get up and watch the Tour de France. When you're in France, that's what you should do, is support those cyclists as they go whistling by the streets and the neighborhoods all over the country. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line, but it's going to hook foul. It's going to run the count to 2-2 on Kakanaka. Eris says the MLS ends in ties in North America. I remember I was at the very first MLS match in Columbus, Ohio. It was between the Colorado Rapids and Columbus. And they went to a penalty shootout, but it wasn't like the penalty shootouts we are accustomed to. It started with the outfield player with the ball at center field, and then he had to dribble it in. As there's a fastball swung on and missed, and Kakanaka is down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. I'll come back and tell that story in just a few minutes, but there was damage in the inning. There was 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your score after 5, it is the Seibu Lions 3, the Chiba Lotte Marines 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for being here. I'll tell you that crazy story from Columbus, Ohio.
Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Cards. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the proverbial Japanese halftime as they take a little extended break in between the fifth and the sixth inning. Not sure why they do that. I remember years ago there used to be a fella who I'd officiated with when we were doing some officiating in my younger years, and he was over and did the World University Games. I believe it was either in Korea or Taiwan, and he was telling us about he didn't know what to think of it, that they have the experience where he was done the fifth inning and then the players leave the field, and he was out there and they were like, what's going on? And they go, halftime. And what had happened is the umpires all left field. They went under and they took like a 15-minute break. And I said, well, that's crazy. What do the pitchers do? And he goes, well, pitchers would just stay out there and they'd play catch and they'd get loose or stay loose anyways. And that's how they would operate. So it is still in effect here. You can see it as they've got an extended break. They come out and they work on the field. There's only the cutouts on this diamond. And they get that all set up. And then they have the little break. And then the players come on back out. So almost like a tea break in between innings of a cricket match, but a much shorter variety in the baseball game. So that is what we're waiting for here is the highlights are running. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes as we will carry on the call of this one here. Hang tight, everybody. It is 3-2 for the Seibu Seibu Lions. We're cruising to the top of the sixth. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. I'm not sure what's more shocking, the fact that Okajima is coming out for the sixth inning at 101 pitches. He is going to be starting the top of the sixth. He's going to be facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order. It'll be Brian O'Grady, Haruka Yamada, and the top of the order in Shohei Suzuki. So 2 of the first 3 batters face are left-handers. I can't remember if Yamada hits from the left or the right side. So O'Grady steps up to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Starting to tell that Colorado Rapids story. I'll get back to that in a second. There's a ground ball hit over to the first baseman and is fielded neatly by the first baseman, Sato, who flips it to the pitcher covering it. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1. And O'Grady is gone for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the shortstop, Haruka Yamada. So we're starting to tell this story that we were at Columbus. They were playing that opening season at the Ohio State University. So the ground or the stadium is like a horseshoe. And so we were sitting at the equivalent of the 50-yard line. And so the way that the penalty was is they started with the ball being dribbled from midfield. There's a first pitch fastball that is squared on the hitter, and that ball gets away. I don't know if he fouled that off or not. They haven't made a scoring decision, so let's see what that's all about here. Umpire didn't go up with the right hand. It is a ball. It was not bunted by Yamada. Yamada today is officially 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now is 1-1. So the player would run in, and then the goalie would run out, trying to stop the shootout. It was crazy. Never seen anything like it. But they don't do that anymore. They came to their senses, did the Major League Soccer, and that was shelved. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. Friend Mick says he lives in Denver, go Rapids. I've got a friend of mine who lives in Denver. She's stationed there as a flight attendant. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 2-2. She's also doing work for the Rockies and for the Broncos. So my goal was kind of to get down to see her. If I don't get to see her this year, I'll go down and see her next year and try to catch a Rockies game. The Rockies stadium is very similar to the one that was built in Seattle. The only thing it's missing is the retractable roof. There's a fastball swung on and grounded foul down the third baseline, and the count remains at 2-2. Our friend V-Rush asked the question. He says, do you like ghost runners in the extra innings? I don't. I'd rather see the game played out in the 10th and the 11th innings, maybe even the 12th inning, as per normal, and then maybe the ghost runner come in the 13th inning, because I still wouldn't mind to see a winner. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Kojima blows it by Yamada for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, Shohei Suzuki. So Ojima, after that rocky first inning, settled in. It's been a tough night at the office since then for the Saitama Seibu Lions. But not so far for Suzuki against the lefty. Suzuki is living on the base paths against Okajima. He's 2 for 2. He's also walked and scored a run. And here comes the first pitch. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Our friend Mick says, I watched my first test cricket match last year. And V-Rush says you should try out the T20s. T20 is actually really good. It is more fun. It's a much quicker pace to the match. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. They do broadcast the IPL here. I don't watch that. It has to be I don't want to say a pay-per-view, but that's kind of what it is. There's a fastball that misses. The count is now 2-1 strike, so I'm not going to pay extra money to watch the Indian Cricket League. No offense to our Indian listeners out here, but I'm not going to invest my money in the cricket, that's for sure. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count's now 3-1. But they used to have the Cricket World Cup on in years past, and whenever that was on, it was always fun to dial in to try to watch it. Stick and ball games are, in my mind, some of the most skilled and fun games to watch. There's a fastball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 3-2. I used to work with a guy, a British guy. This is going back some 25 years ago, and he said he used to love cricket. And I go, why do you love cricket? He goes, it's because I like to drink all day. And I said, no, you don't like cricket. You just like to drink. And he thought about it for a minute, and he was like, well, yeah, you're right. It was just an excuse to go have a few pints. So 3-2 strikes to Suzuki. And here comes the offering from the lefty Okajima, who holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to second. It is fielded neatly by Nakamura. He throws to first. And Okajima continues to roll on here after the first inning. That's a ground out, 4-3 for the third out of the inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. It is a 3-2 ball game for the Lions over the Marines. Stick around, everybody. There's lots of baseball left in this one. We're glad you guys could be with us here tonight or this morning, depending on where you're at. Here is our friend Dave.
Thanks for checking out Freddie and Last Raps Baseball. It's time to announce the winners of this month's mystery pack. Boom! Josh S., you're the winner. Congratulations. Enjoy the game, and remember to tell Steve Rademacher, take a haircut. Back to the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the sixth inning. It is going to be Shogo Nakamura, Hisanori Yasuda, and Seiya Inoue to come to bat. And our friend V-Rush, who is listening to us from India, he was asking some questions earlier on about where on English websites We talked about it yesterday. I think Eric Cheng, I don't know if Eric's still with us tonight. He's called tonight. We're talking about on Twitter, the fellow who runs the NPB Reddit account. He's a Yakult Swallows fan. It's a one-man operation that he's doing it. He really does a good job. He posts up all these starting pitchers when they're announced. He gives you the final scores. He gives you links to highlights. Here comes the first offering. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nakamura. Nakamura today is 0 for 2. He's popped to short and popped to second his 2 times up. He waggles the bat and waits on the offering from the right-hander, and there is a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. It is fielded by Witt. It is a one-hopper over to first. And that is going to do it. That's going to retire Nakamura on a ground out, 5-3 for out number 1, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Hisanori Yasuda. For Yasuda tonight, he has struck out and he has walked. He was later erased in a double play back in the 4th inning. So that's what I would consider doing. So if you go onto Twitter and you do the search NPB Reddit, it brings you to the NPB Reddit account, and you can get all the updates right there. It's pretty good. He does a great job. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-1 to Yasuda. As I say, he puts the standings out, updates it every day. He's got a good little system going on there. I shouldn't say little, it's a system. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I have a feeling that Okajima's day is probably done after this one. Looks like he's up on the fence and he's cheering his teammates on. There's a fastball that misses, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. I would also figure that Matsumoto would be close behind him here, as this is going to be his 100th pitch of the ball game. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Yasuda. I don't have a Reddit account either. Sometimes you can see things online. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. There's a fastball that swung on. It's lifted foul over on the third base side. The count is now 3-2. Our friend V-Rush says that he's mostly a cricket fan. Started watching baseball during the lockdown and loved the game ever since. MLD does a great job with replays for the game. There's 2 cricket players from India that I can name. There's a fastball that is swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down, and it's going to get up the gap all the way to the wall. The digging for second is Yasuda, and he's going to go in with a stand-up double to pretty much the same place as Takabe did. The difference is the speed, as he's got himself a 1-out double, and that's going to bring up Seiya Inoue. Obviously, Sachin Tendulkar was globally famous, but he had a running mate, Rahul Dravid, who wasn't half bad either. He was pretty good as well. I remember Rahul Dravid was, I think that's how you say his name, he was a pretty good batsman as well. And those 2 guys as running mates, excellent job. I think they were 2-3 in the order. They came to bat for India most of the time. So here's Inoue to the plate. He is 0 for 1. He has walked and he has grounded into a double play. There's a fastball that misses down. A good block by the catcher, Mori. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Inoue on the season has seen his batting average slip to .281. And here comes the offering from the right-hander, who checks the runner at second and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 1-1. I can't name a lot of cricket players over the years. There was a cricketer for India who is their president, I believe, right now, Imran Khan. He also was one of the greater batsmen of more recent years for Pakistan, but he has He had to be one of the worst runners between the wickets that I can remember ever seeing in cricket. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and there's a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow right field. Moving over underneath it is Ito. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Inoue for the second out of the inning. That's got to leave it all up to the first baseman, Toshiya Sato. For Sato tonight, he is 0 for 1. He reached on an error back in the fourth inning, but he was erased when he was trying to steal second base. Our friend Mick says there's some weird pro thing I see on ESPN. It looks like tag. I'm not sure what that is. Is that currently on ESPN or? So here comes the offering now to Sato, who bats with 2 out here with the runner on second. And they throw over to second, and that ball was almost thrown into the outfield. It was a really nice play by the shortstop, Yamada. He tried to pick the runner off at second base, and he had to field it on the second base side of the bag. Very, very fortunate to be able to keep that one there. Otherwise, Sato would have been off to the races over to third base. So here comes the offering from the right-hander who holds at the chest. And he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. Our friend V-Rush says the fan experience for baseball, as you just were saying, is kind of similar to his experience for Test cricket. You don't exactly know what's happening, but you enjoy the drinks. There you go. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. This game here for a 3-2 game, it's been sporadic in its moments. There's been some excitement. That game the other night that we did between the Golden Eagles and the Buffaloes last night, there was a lot of action in that game. At different points of the game, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike. Again, waggling the bat is the batter, Sato. Right-hander Matsumoto holds at the chest. He checks the runner. Now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball is grounded down the left field line, foul. It's going to keep the count at 2-2. Our friend V-Rush says Pro Kabaddi League. I guess, Mick. I'm not sure what that is. As he says, it's some sort of. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nick says it's not on right now, but they have it on in the mornings. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. I saw somebody talking about this, and they were saying it's the golden age of television right now. And nobody's there to watch it. There's so many channels and so many things available for people to be able to watch and consume. But people are going in other directions to be able to get their consumption of information. There's a fastball that misses down, and that's going to be a base on balls to Sato. So that's going to put runners at first and second with 2 away, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Tsuyoshi Sugano. And it's also going to bring the manager, Tsuji, out of the dugout, and it looks like that is going to be the end of the rope for the right-hander Matsumoto, as he's gone to the umpire to make the change. So we'll get you all the specs on the pitching change when we come back here in just a moment, everybody. That is a base on balls here for Sato. Puts runners at first and second. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back here in just a couple moments. Glad you guys are with us. Runners at first and second, 2 away. We have a pitching change. Hold tight.
Hello, guys. Steve Rademacher coming at you. I'm having my 500 subscriber giveaway if we get there by the end of this year. That's my name and my channel, Steve Rademacher. All you have to do is be publicly subscribed, and then you can enter to win once we hit the magic number. Either an unopened, still sealed box of Star Trek official trading cards, Next Generation and Original Series. If that's not your cup of tea, we have Fleer Adrenaline with a Deerdick rookie card. I have pulled out an autograph from one of these, and there are relics. If that's not your thing, how about an unopened box of 1987 Donruss Baseball? Just come watch me, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Thank you.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We have a pitching change on our hands here. It is going to be Sasaki coming into the ballgame, a left-hander. This is Takiro Sasaki. He's going to be working his 26th game of the year. He's 2-0 on the season. He's got 20 innings pitched. He's allowed 19 hits, 12 walks. He struck out 17. He's given up 4 runs. Only 3 have been earned. He's got an ERA of 1.35. So the lefty is in here to take over for Taro Matsumoto, who leaves 2 runners aboard. They're his responsibility here in the 6th inning. So I would have never guessed, asked me back in the 1st inning, if Okajima would have logged more or stayed in the game longer than Matsumoto, I would have lost that wager. But here is Sasaki as he is heating up. Ready to get this one back underway in just a moment. It is supposed to be Sagano coming up, and then Fujioka. We'll see if Gucci is going to go to his bench. And that's what exactly looks like is going to happen. It's going to be Hikari Oka coming into the game, as he is going to be pinch hitting as announced. So Oka is in. And that is the end of the day for Sagano. So they do match it. They've got a right-handed hitter coming up to bat. So on the season, Oka, as he swings at a first pitch fastball and misses, the count is 0-1. Oka's only hit 205 on the season. He's got 5 homers and 11 RBIs. He is fleet of foot. He's got himself 8 stolen bases, so he'll be tough on the base paths. So no balls and 1 strike. Sasaki holds at the belt. He checks the runner at second. And now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Oka. Our friend V-Rush says he used to play during his school days. It's really fun. Interesting. It's sort of like dodgeball and tag, but with no ball. Plus wrestling skills. That's what V-Rush says. It's like tag with wrestling skills. That could be an interesting game. So no balls and 2 strikes it is here to Oka. There's the runner at second is Yasuda. The runner at first is Sato. Sasaki leans in. He gets the sign from his catcher, Mori. He holds set at the belt. And now he delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll take a glimpse at the out-of-town scoreboard as the games are moving along outside of here. The scores around the NPB, as we'll catch up here after Oka. Again, Sasaki leans in. It's the sign from his catcher, Mori. He holds set at the belt. And he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to retire the pinch hitter, Oka, for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the inning. So there was no runs. There was a hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 7th inning. It's a 3-2 ball game for the Saitama Seibu Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back, and we'll get you the scoreboard when we return. Hang tight, everybody. We're glad you're with us. Here are those cheerleaders again. Well, it looks like we got another pitching change on our hands, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments as the Chiba Lotte Marines are going to their bullpen. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a right-hander, Taiki Tojo, coming into the ball game. He is going to replace the starter Okajima, who really did a great job of surviving the first inning and then shut out the Seibu Seibu Lions for the last 5 innings he worked. For Tojo, he is 2-2 on the season. He's worked 39 2/3 innings. He's allowed 33 hits, 9 walks. He has struck out 44, and he's got an ERA of 1.59. So he is going to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the batting order here. And the first pitch to Ito is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Ito tonight is 1 for 3. He doubled in the first and scored a run. He's also grounded out and flown out. And there's a fastball swung on. This is belted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the third base line, and the count is now 0-2 to Ito. So no balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the offering from the right-hander. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And Ito is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Tomoya Mori. I have to say that breaking ball that the right-hander Tojo threw, it really made Ito look sick at the plate. He stuck his butt out. He waved at the pitch, lost his top hand. Looked like he went fishing and almost fell in the water. So this is going to bring Mori to the plate. He is 0 for 2 tonight. He swings at the first pitch fastball, and he lines that one into the seats. The count is quickly 0-1. Mori has popped to short, and he's grounded to first. He also has a walk. And here comes the offering from the right-hander who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Ito. It is Hotaka Yamakawa who waits his turn on deck. Here's the 1-1. And there is a fastball swung on. This is lifted into shallow center field. Coming in on it and making the catch is the center fielder Takabe. And so that's 2 up and 2 away. That is going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Yamakawa. For Yamakawa tonight, he is officially 0 for 2. He walked and scored the 3rd run of the inning in the first inning. He's also flown to right and struck out his other 2 trips to the plate. So he steps in waiting on the first offering from the right-hander Tojo, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside. The count is quickly 1-0. And here comes the 1-0 pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. We're in the back third of the ball game here as we are in the top of the 7th inning. As I said, it's kind of been one of those games that's kind of been rather slow, and there's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into center field, and that is going to be hauled in by Takabe, and that is going to retire the Lions in order. 1, 2, 3. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 6.5. It is a 3-2 lead for the Lions, and it looks like we are going to have yet another pitching change. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment as Sazaki's third of an inning has done his job. We'll get you the reliever in just a moment when we return. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a few.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure to check him out after the game. We do have a pitching change as another right-hander is coming in. We'll get you that when we return in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the third pitcher used on the evening by the Lions. It is going to be Ryosuke Moriwaki coming in as he is taking over here in the 7th inning. So Moriwaki in, Sasaki out. Pitcher number 3 used by the Lions. And it is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to face him. As Yudai Fujioka steps to the plate in the first pitch, a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. For Moriwaki on the season, he is 1-0. He's got 1 save. He's worked 25 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 21 hits, 4 walks, and 22 strikeouts. And an ERA of 1.75. He's got a kind of a unique delivery. He goes up straight, and then his leg almost comes straight back down before he strides out, and there's a fastball that is taken for a ball, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Mick says he might need those Bob Marley trading cards if they don't go up in smoke, so to speak. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Kind of wondering if we're going to get a visit from the hobbyist in here this morning. One of our patrons, we saw he was commenting on some stuff. I hope Chris checks in for a little bit. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. It's going to run the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Moriwaki's going to step off the backside and get some dirt cleaned out of his spikes, and then grab the rosin bag and get his hand loaded up, and he's ready to go back to work here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fujioka. Moriwaki holds at the chest, and now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to first. It is fielded by the first baseman, who bobbles the ball, and then Yamakawa couldn't hang on to it, and then the batter runner, Fujioka, ran right through him, and he is safe at first base. We're going to see how they're going to score it. I'm giving him an error on that one. That's going to be the second error of the night by Yamakawa. He's got cinder blocks for hands tonight. And it does look like it was going to be a fair ball. I'm going to see if they're going to do the replay on it. I think they want to take a look at that to see if indeed possibly that may have been. He did pick up the ball and he tagged the bag. I don't think they're going to go and review this one, and I think that's probably the right decision. So E3 as Fujioka is aboard, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Kato. He broke his 0 for 17 slump with a double his last time up. He also had a sac bunt back in the 3rd inning, and so he is already squaring to bunt. The Marines are down 3-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And here comes the offering from the right-hander Moriwaki. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Kato. Kato did have a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning, when he was able to advance Fujioka over to 3rd after Fujioka had doubled. Our friend Mick says, are you going to call any MLB games after the break? And the answer to that is yes. Thursday, we're going to do a double dip. We're going to do the Yankees and Astros, the first game of the doubleheader there. And then we're going to call the Giants and the Dodgers in the evening. I won't do an NPB game over that night because, as I mentioned the other night, I'm on my way to Seattle to see the Mariners and the Astros for a couple of games. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball. It's bunted, and they're going to try to take a shot down at second. They get the runner going to second for 1, and that is going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Fujioka 2-6. He'll be gone for the first out. Kato is safe at first. And that'll bring up the top of the order, Akito Takabe. For Takabe, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He's driven in one of the Marine runs, as he had a triple his last time up. He's also grounded to first and grounded to 3rd. So 1 for 3 for Takabe. So Kato is the runner at first. Moriwaki on the hill. And now he steps off and fakes the throw over to first base. V-Rush asked the question, are you going to do the All-Star game tomorrow night? I was kind of 50-50 on it, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure if I was going to do it or not. Because if I do the game, then I won't do an NPB game. If I don't do the All-Star game, I'll probably do an NPB game tomorrow night. So I'm going to have to wait and see how I feel in the daytime. So we'll make a decision on one or the other. So I don't want to commit to one, and then if I commit to one, I won't do the other. Or if I do one, I won't do the other, if that makes sense. So 1 ball and no strikes to Takabe. Moriwaki ready to deliver here. He holds at the chest. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is now 1-1. Mick says they won't let you call it inside the stadium. I probably could. I just don't know if I'll have enough juice. Normally, I've got multiple computers set up here. Of course, in case one goes down. I think they might be on to me if I'm videoing and calling the game at the same time. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count is 1-2. What I am going to aim to do is to get down to the bullpen And to be able to video the pitchers warming up before the ball game, I'm not sure who the starters are for that series yet. I saw Marco Gonzalez is going to get the nod for the Mariners, but I don't know who is going to be the starter for the Astros. But I want to get some video on their throwing mechanics down in the pen. So here's the 1-2. It's a fastball swung on its grounded foul over on the third base line. The count remains at 1-2. CV baseball card collector says hello as he's joined us in here tonight. We welcome you for being here. It's a little bit, we did the middle of the night game, so we decided to stay up and do it. We're getting some sleep after this one. Hopefully we can sleep through the construction that'll start around 7 o'clock my time. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. Like I'm living in a construction zone. I got a building being built across from me. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick says, I think if you call the stadium ahead of time, I'm pretty sure they'll let you. Yeah, possibly. And here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. The runner was off to the races. That ball is going to get down in left field for a base hit. But stopping at second is Kato. It is going to be a single for Takabe. So now the Marines have something brewing here in the 7th inning. They got runners at first and second with 1 away. That is going to bring up Katsuya Kakanaka, and it's going to bring the pitching coach of the Lions dugout. And so our friend CV baseball card collector says, what does the name Lotte mean? I'm pretty sure it is a sponsor that's in the name. Chiba Lotte Marines. I'm not sure what Lotte is. It's kind of like the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. Nippon Ham is the sponsor, much like the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. SoftBank is a banking company. For some reason, off the top of my head, Lotte, I want to say, is a transportation. It has something to do with transportation. Oh, it is a snack company. Mela Nippon is in here and says, Lotte is the sponsor. It is a snack company. We appreciate you for letting us know. And thanks for being here. There's a first pitch fastball from Moriwaki that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So it is Katsuya Kakanaka at the plate. He is 1 for 3. He's got a single and an RBI, and he has struck out twice. You see that in some spots. When I was over in Europe, the Regensburg Legionnaire were sponsored by Bookbinder. So they were called the Bookbinder Regensburg Legionnaire. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is now 1-1 to Kakanaka. They were a rental car company, so they put it right into the name. Much like the stadium sponsorships that you see in, not just in Japan, but also in North America too. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Moriwaki holds at the chest, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and it's popped up foul over on the third base side. That's going to run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marines here are threatening here with 1 gone in the 7th inning. They're down by a run, 3-2. As we said, it's not a big crowd tonight in Chiba, but it is a festive crowd. We've got the drums going and the fans are cheering. So here comes the 1-2 offering now to Kakanaka. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the third base side. It's going to reach the seats as Jansen Witt and the shortstop Yamada raced over to watch it fall into the seats. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains on Kakanaka. So the left-handed hitter, Kakanaka, gets himself dug in. He's waiting on the 1-2 offering from Moriwaki. The pitcher comes set. He checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball again, swung on, and again fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. Shogo Nakamura is the hitter that waits on deck as they're moving into the meat of the batting order here of the Chiba Lotte Marines. Mela says, I can hear the drums from my apartment right now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty windy day in Chiba, that's for sure. Looks like it's settled down a little bit. A couple innings ago, it was blowing straight in from center field. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up. Camping out underneath it is Mori. He's going to make the catch in foul territory on the first base line. That is going to retire Kakanaka for the second out of the inning. That is going to bring up the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. I didn't make it to Chiba when I was in Japan the last time. I had met some people that fella had a couple of daughters, and they'd gone to school in Chiba. They were on their way there to see friends. So 2 gone here in the 7th, and that brings up Shogo Nakamura to the plate. The Marines are down by a run, and they are threatening here with 2 on and 2 out in the 7th. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mick says there's a team in the KBO, which is the Lotte Giants. I would think it would be the same type of thing where they've got the sponsorship over there as well. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It's fouled straight back. The count is now 0-2. Even though we sometimes look at the 2 different leagues, the Korean League and the Japanese League, I bet you if you were in Japan, I wonder how many people actually pay any attention to the Korean League in Japan, or what the percentage of Japanese fans would pay attention to the Korean League. I wouldn't think not that much, or not as much as you would think. So here comes the 2-strike pitch. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-2, much like a lot of people who follow Major League Baseball don't know a whole lot about the Japanese League. That's fair. Until, of course, Shohei Ohtani shows up, or a Yu Darvish, or an Ichiro Suzuki. Everybody starts to get real interested. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Moriwaki checks the runner at second, and now he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. Racing back, and this ball is gone. A home run by Nakamura. It is a 3-run shot, and that is going to put the Marines ahead 5-3. And that is the go-ahead runs. It was a no-doubter. That ball left the bat, and you could tell O'Grady pulled up well short of the warning track to watch it sail into the seats. Captain Clutch, the captain for the Marines, with the 3-run blast. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Hisanori Yasuda. So Mel is here just in time to listen to the call of the 3-run shot. So Yasuda steps up to the plate. He is officially 1 for 2 today. He's got a double. He's struck out and he's walked. And here comes the first offering as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Our friend V-Rush says that the Koreans and Japans have a great rivalry in the World Baseball Classic, and yes, they do. Fun baseball to watch, too. Both of those countries with the small ball, and lots of fun when they get into those tournaments. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1 to Yasuda. Clutch home run by the captain and the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. It's good for him to be able to do that as he's been struggling this year. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. It's fielded by Yasuda. He throws to first, or Yamada. He throws to first on the run. And that is going to retire Yasuda on a ground out 6-3 for the third out of the inning. But damage has been done. Shogo Nakamura hits a 3-run homer. It was 3 runs in the inning on 2 hits. There was an error, and there was nobody left the board. We are now through 7 complete innings. It is 5-3 for the Chiba Lotte Marines over the Saitama Seibu Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. We appreciate you guys for coming on in and checking us out. Here's our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt. As we're cruising to the top of the 8th inning, it is going to be Shuta Tonosaki, Jansen Witt, and Takiya Nakamura as they are coming up to bat. I do believe we are going to have ourselves a pitching change, so we'll get you that here in just a couple moments as we are waiting here for the Marines to make that announcement. As he said, it was Taiki Tojo was the second pitcher after Ojima. We're anticipating that it'll be another reliever and then the closer Masuda to come in to finish it out. We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves as the first place Lions now are finding themselves behind 5-3 here, entering the top of the 8th inning. It is a right-hander, and it is going to be the former big leaguer Tehran Guerrero is now entering into the fray. So Guerrero, the big, hard-throwing right-hander, is going to be coming in to take over here. Guerrero is a big fella. He stands almost 6'8". He's got 3 wins and 3 losses on the season. He's worked 33 1/3 innings. He's allowed 27 hits. He's walked 13 and struck out 42, and he has an ERA of 3.78. Former Padre and Marlins right-hander now entering the game to try to get himself a hold here. Also, I haven't looked to see if Roberto Osuna is on the roster. I'm curious to see if he will come in for the 9th. If he is on the game sheet for tonight. So here comes the first offering from Guerrero. And he kicks and fires. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Tonosaki. Tonosaki tonight is 0 for 3. He has popped the first, he's popped the short, and he has flown out to right. And was deep right his last time up. And there's a fastball that is spiked into the ground for a ball, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Mick says the Korea has their own clubs. The LG Twins, the Samsung Lions, the Kia Tigers. Yep, they're all in there with their sponsors. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. This game is nearing the twilight here. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field, but this ball is going to hook foul. Boy, did Tonosaki really turn on that one. He just got the barrel head around it a bit. It's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend V-Rush says there's a lot of electronic products you named there. That's for sure. The electronic stuff that is come out of that part of the world. They do a lot of the sponsor stuff. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Tanasaki. My friend Mick says, people don't believe me when I say Samsung has a baseball team. Absolutely. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. And Guerrero delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is on the fists. It's looped right to the first baseman, and it is going to be caught by Toshiya Sato, and that is going to put away Tanasaki. He has gone on a, we'll call it a pop out to the first baseman because it was too weak to be a line drive. And that is going to bring up the third baseman, Jansen Witt. Witt has had himself a good evening tonight. He is 2 for 3. He's got a single, a double, 3 RBIs. He struck out on the in-between. So good for the American right-handed stick that he's finally starting to wake up a little bit here in Japan. So here comes the first offering from Guerrero, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Checking with the umpire, probably asking if that's as low as he goes. Our friend V-Rush says it's funny how the corporates promote themselves by being able to do that. Of course, it's in the news. It's in everywhere you go. They're letting everybody know that they are behind the certain clubs. As that fastball misses down, and the count is now 1-1 to Witt. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Guerrero comes set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul over on the first base side. It's going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count now to 1-2 on Witt. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curious to see it. Roberto Osuna is on the game sheet, so one would have to think if it gets to the 9th inning, it'll be Osuna time. Or maybe it's still Masuda time. I'm not sure if we've got him in the ballgame. Actually, Masuda is not there on the lineup sheet, so probably it's going to be Osuna, as he would come in to have to close this one out. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now is 2-2 to Jansen Witt. I will say this, when I saw Roberto Osuna pitch in only his second game for the Marines, one would have to think there's going to be a major league team queuing up for his services for 2023. He looked outstanding. So I'm curious to see how he's made out since. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is driven to right field. If it's going to get down, it'll be trouble, but it's just going to slice foul. It's going to run the count still to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Guerrero gets himself a new baseball. He's ready to go back at it here with Jansen Witt. Guerrero gets his sign from his catcher, and Witt gets himself set in the batter's box. And here comes the pitch. Guerrero holds at the chest, and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted over on the first base side, and racing over is the first baseman Sato, but he's going to watch that sail into the seats. And again, the count remains at 2-2. As we take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, at the nudging from our friend Mick, the only other game that was going on in the Pacific League tonight is in the 8th inning. It is a 5-1 lead for the Buffaloes over the Fighters. All the other games are in the Central League. It's a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 8th as the Swallows are beating the Giants with the Jinju. Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Witt. Guerrero delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. That's going to be 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Witt. In the 9th inning, it is a 3-2 lead at the Vantolin Dome for the Dragons over the Bay Stars. And your only final that has checked in so far, the Hanshin Tigers shut out the Hiroshima Carp 3-0. Game is over at the Mazda Stadium in Hiroshima. So here comes the 3-2 offering from Guerrero. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat to Witt. He's really battled Guerrero. As we said, he's had a good night tonight. He's driven on all the runs for the Seibu Seibu Lions. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. And Guerrero kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded to short. It is fielded by the shortstop Fujioka. He throws to first. And that is going to retire Witt on a ground out 6-3 for out number 2. Well, he really battled the right-hander Guerrero. He just wasn't able to battle him long enough. And that's going to bring up Takeya Nakamura to the plate. For Nakamura tonight, he is 0 for 3. He has flown out all 3 times to all 3 outfield positions. He flew out to center in the first, to left in the third, and to right in the 5th. So he has sprayed the ball around. And here's the first pitch from Guerrero. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Nakamura's batting average on the season has dipped down to 171. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. Our friend V-Rush says, how popular is baseball compared to American football and basketball in the States? Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. When I was a kid growing up back in the 70s and the 80s, I think that baseball was still America's pastime. It was the number one game. But I do believe that basketball overtook baseball back in the 80s when Michael Jordan came on the scene, and all those players like Magic and everybody. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. Nakamura fields it. He throws to first. And Nakamura is going to retire Nakamura for the 3rd out of the inning. Goes as a ground out 4-3 for the 3rd out. And so now we are moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. In the top of the 8th here for the Lions, there was no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're into the bottom of the 8th inning. There will be another pitching change for the Lions. Stick around, everybody. We'll tell you all about it when we return. We're glad you guys are with us. It is 5-3 for the Marines. We'll be right back after this.
Thanks for checking out Freddie and Last Raps Baseball. It's time to announce the winners of this month's mystery pack. Boom! Josh S., you're the winner. Congratulations. Enjoy the game, and remember to tell Steve Rademacher, pick a haircut. Back to the game.
Welcome back, everybody. Slated to come to bat for the Marines in their half of the 8th inning. It'll be Seiya Inoue, Toshiya Sato, and Kari Oka. We will get you the pitching change here in just a moment as the Lions have yet again gone to the bullpen for some relief as we are moving here into the bottom of the 8th inning. And so once we can get the numbers, we will get you the spec on the right-hander who has come into the ball game. We have the right-hander. It is going to be Tamura. It is going to be Ichiro Tamura coming in As he takes over, he will be the fourth pitcher used tonight by the Lions. This is only his second appearance of the year. He's worked one inning and he retired all three batters that he faced. So he is taking over here in the bottom of the eighth inning. So Ichiro Tamura on in relief. And the first batter up to face him is Inoue, and he takes a fastball off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. Inoue tonight has a walk in 3 trips to the plate. He's officially 0 for 2 as he's grounded into a double play and flown out to right field. So here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Inoue. So our friend V. Rush asked the question about the popularity of football and basketball or baseball, how it's compared. There's a breaking ball that misses. The count is now 2-1. So I would honestly say that today you're probably looking at baseball in some ways, even though I love the game. It's probably America's number 3 sport. There's a fastball swung on, and this ball is belted to deep right field. Racing back on it is Ito. He's going to make the catch on the run, and that is going to retire Inoue. Inoue hit the ball on the screws, but right to the right fielder, Ito, as he is able to haul it in. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Toshiya Sato. But it might look like we have a pinch hitter coming up here. Or is it? Nope, it is still Sato. Do a double check on the numbers. So Sato tonight is officially 0 for 2. As he takes a breaking ball over for a strike, and the count's 0-1. He reached on an error in the 4th. He's popped out and he has walked. So he's been on base twice, but he's 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Backing up on it is Jansen Witt. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Sato for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that'll bring up Hikari Oka. Oka came in the 6th inning to pinch hit for the starter Tsuyoshi Sugano. He struck out in his first and only plate appearance in this game. So the right-hander comes set at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So 1 ball and no strikes to Oka. Since the right-hander Ichiro has come in, he's looked very good. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. So Tamura has been solid on the mound. And he's facing the right-handed hitting Oka here. He gets the sign from his catcher, and now he delivers. There's a fastball that misses down and in. The count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So as I said, we're going to make a decision sometime this afternoon if we're going to do the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, or if we'll come back and do another Japanese call tomorrow night. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 3-1, but we'll make an announcement at some point on the channel today, giving you that indication of what we'll do. It is Shane McClanahan against Clayton Kershaw is who is going to be going. That could be a challenge to do that one with all the starters and all the players moving in and out. As the breaking ball drops in, and the count is now 3-2 to Oka. My scorecard would look like a checkerboard with all the substitutions. So here's the 3-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to be lifted into center field for a base hit. It's going to get down. Digging for 2 is Oka. Here comes the throw, and it is not going to be in time. He's going to get himself a 2-out double. And that is going to bring up the shortstop, Yudai Fujioka. It was definitely a hustle double by Oka as he was coming hard out of the box. He was able to stay inside it. He was able to lift it over the head of the second baseman where they had him playing, and they had him playing, shading him more to the pole side. The center fielder, Suzuki, really had to race to his left to have to go and get it. Then he threw against the grain as runner Oka was able to glide into second base. So Yudai Fujioka steps to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's reached on an error. He has grounded out, and he has doubled and scored a run. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0. On the season, he's batting .158. He's raised his average 10 points tonight. He had no homers and no runs batted in. So he's either the guy you want at the plate because he's about to break a couple of streaks or snap a couple of zeros, or he's the guy you wish he wasn't at the plate. And there's a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 2-0. Question from V-Rush says, how come Ty France and Espinal are all-stars? It makes no sense that they're having great numbers. They have great, but nothing special. Well, Espinal is a injury replacement. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field. Suzuki to his left. He makes the catch. Fujioka is gone for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it. There was no runs. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left the board. We're now through 8 complete. It is a 5-3 ball game for Chiba, and stay tuned, everybody. I have a feeling we're going to see Roberto Osuna coming in just a minute to close this one off. We'll be right back as the Mercedes-Benz is ready to drive them in. Hold tight.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. I got to say, I love it. Roberto Osuna is on the mound, and he told the Marines to park the car because he ran in from the bullpen into the ball game. Have a Mercedes-Benz convertible. He drive the pitchers into the game, and Osuna, who comes in, nope, leave the car behind. He runs in from the outfield and comes in to be ready to pitch. So this is going to be his 9th appearance of the year for the Marines. He's got 2 wins and no losses. He has worked 8 innings. He's allowed 4 hits. He has walked 1. He has struck out 7, and he's got an ERA of 1.13, so he's going to be entrusted to close this one off. Scheduled to come to the bat for the Lions in the 9th inning. It's supposed to be Brian O'Grady, Haruka Yamada, and Shohei Suzuki, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the batting order. So Osuna has completed his warm-up tosses, and now we are ready to get this one back underway. Just as a reminder, once this game is done, we will do a quick recap, and we will take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we shut it off for the night. So Grady steps to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single, a strikeout, and he has grounded out in his 3 trips to the dish. Here's the first pitch from Osuna. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count is 1-0 to O'Grady. First pitch was at 97 miles an hour from the hard-throwing right-hander. So here comes the 1-0. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is 1-1. When Osuna comes in, the speed is at a whole other level compared to what we witnessed through the rest of the ball game from all the other pitchers. He is prime rib. Everybody else is ground chuck. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. And Osuna delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 1-2. Our friend CV Baseball Card Collector said, the other night I saw Hayato Tagaki pitch for the Bravos de Leon in the Mexican League. I think Roberto Osuna was also there in 2022. I don't know about 2022, but certainly in 2021. There's a fastball that misses inside. The count is 2-2. I'd have to look that up. But you may be correct. Osuna, of course, was a more recent acquisition in the last 6 weeks by the Chiba Lotte Marines. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. As Osuna delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is now 3-2. Certainly don't want to walk anybody here and bring the tying run to the plate. Not like there's a ton of power in this lineup outside of Yamakawa. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Osuna delivers. It's a fastball swung on and missed. And O'Grady is gone for out number 1 here in the 9th inning, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Haruka Yamada. And all eyes will be on the manager to see if they're going to pinch hit for Yamada. Roberto Osuna is a power arm and a legitimate bounce back to the big leagues if hopefully he has his off-field stuff straightened out. And here's the first pitch to Yamada. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. Yamada tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out. He's popped to the catcher, and he has been hit by a pitch. And here's the 0-1. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And the count is now 0-2. Well, if I'm Osuna here, I'm not wasting any time. Just dialing it right up and going right after the hitter here. He's got to prove that he can put the bat to the ball. So here's the 0-2. Osuna kicks and he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Yamada is retired on 3 pitches for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the top of the order, Shohei Suzuki. The question Mick asks, he says, you got Facebook or Instagram? Yeah, we got Instagram and we got Facebook, but we don't do anything on Facebook really. And Instagram, we've got only 2 things posted up there. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Suzuki. Suzuki tonight is 2 for 3 and a walk. He's got 2 singles, a ground out, and he walked and scored a run back in the first inning. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and now the count is 0-2. This is what I would call quick work here. He is at a whole other level. The Lions are right up on the dugout watching Osuna work. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 1-2. The catcher for the Marines that time had a bit of a hard time handling that one, did Cato. You get into the 9th inning. The Marines become a very difficult team to beat. 8th and 9th with Guerrero. And not only that, Masuda, your other guy that can close games. So here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Osuna. So Osuna wears the number 42, which is retired in Major League Baseball. Of course, the former, in honor of Jackie Robinson, the last player to wear 42 in the major leagues was Mariano Rivera. And there's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's lined into the left field. It's going to get down in front of the left fielder for a base hit as Oka had to play it on the bounce. Suzuki is aboard for the 4th time tonight. It's his 3rd hit of the ball game. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Ido. Ito tonight is 1 for 4. He's got a double and scored a run. He's also grounded out, flew out, and struck out. So he already is choking up on the bat. And he's bringing his two-strike approach to the plate right now against Osuna. The first pitch is a fastball. This is swung on. It is driven to deep right field. Moving back on the warning track and making the catch is Oka, and that is going to do it. As Ito was retired for the third out of the inning, he gave the Marines fans a scare as he sent the ball for a ride, but he wasn't able to do the damage to tie the game. And there was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left the board. Your final score is the Chiba Lotte Marines 5, the Seibu Seibu Lions 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back to wrap this one up in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys are with us. Here is our friend Dave again.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. And Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave's Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We have final scores from around the league, and we'll get you updated on the games that are still going on. First of all, the other game in the Pacific League tonight, I think here's Saradomits in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Oryx Buffaloes have a 7-1 lead over the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. In the Central League, 2 of the 3 matches are completed. It is a 3-0 victory for the Hanshin Tigers over the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. At the Vantolin Dome, it was a 3-2 victory for the Chinichi Dragons over the Yokohama Bay Stars. In the 9th inning at the Jinju, it is a 5-3 lead for the Yakult Swallows over the Yomiuri Giants. That is where it stands. And so for this one here, to wrap it all up, your final score is 5-3. The Saitama Seibu Lions scored all of their runs in the first inning. They walked to Shohei Suzuki, a double by Ito. Then with 1 out, Otaka Yamakawa walked to load the bases. And then with 2 out, Jansen Witt doubled home the 3 runners that were aboard to jumpstart the Lions out to a 3-0 lead. And after that, it was all Chiba. In the 3rd inning, a leadoff double by Dai Fujioka. He was sacked to 3rd by Takuma Kato. And then with 2 out, Katsuya Kakanaka drove home Fujioka to make the score 1-0. In the 5th inning, the only run came with 2 out. It was a 2-out double by the catcher Kato, his first hit of the season. And then he was brought home on a triple by Akito Takabe, and that cut the score to 3-2. Well, Chiba in the 7th inning, with 1 out, Akito Takabe singled. That advanced the runner Kato over to second base. And then with 2 out, Shogo Nakamura stepped to the plate and hit a 3-run homer that put the Marines ahead 5-3, and that is where the scoreline ended. So again, your final score tonight, the Chiba Lotte Marines 5, the Saitama Seibu Lions 3. Once again, everybody, we appreciate everybody for being here and for checking us out. As I said, it'll either be the All-Star game or Game 2 of this series tomorrow night. I'll make a decision when we get up a little bit later on. You've listened to another Last Raps Baseball video production. We hope you guys have a great night. Come on back and see us again later, whether you're in France, India, Australia. We appreciate everybody for listening. Japan, the United States, Canada as well. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you either on YouTube or Twitch tomorrow night. Have a great night.